Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special night here on the Master and John Whiskey Room. I'm Jason C. It is Blendageddon number 6, the finale. It's about to go down tonight. We have Fred Minnick who's going to join us here in a little bit, but I do want to say thank you to everyone that has already been donating. We've already hit 1,000, a little over 1,001 for nationwide. We're over 2,000 already for St. Jude. Just cannot wait to get this going here tonight. And it's a very special night, I think, each and every year for me personally, because this is the time where we get to give back a little bit. Oh, don't worry, Sean, one could be coming, don't worry. So let's see, man, what do we got going on tonight already? So if you guys want to know what bottles are available for the giveaway, so basically, guys, any $10 donation tonight will anytime you give at least 10. So if you give 20, that's 2. I'm wording this completely wrong. As you can see, I'm very excited, yet a little nervous tonight because it is a big night. So $10 per entry. There you go. So for every $10 you put in, you'll get an entry. So if you do $50. Then that's 5 entries you get in order to win one of over 50 different prizes. If you guys look at the description of the video, you can see the entire list of everything we're giving away. Tonight, I have a Michter's 2023. And yes, it's an A barrel, if anybody wants to know. This is up for grabs tonight. We have a Stag Batch 22A, one of my personal favorites, so I'm throwing that in the mix tonight. I also got my my blend, my Butter Pecan blend that I made in Obtanium. Look how nice and dark that is. So just a ton of great bottles, and not to mention all the amazing bottles that were donated by the whiskey community. So I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Adriana from Whiskey Mountains. As always, she has given up her valuable time to help not only, figure out all the donations, all the entries, track them, get them into her magical spreadsheet until we do the giveaway later. So Adriana, a huge thank you to you. And don't worry, I'm going to send you something nice for helping out. Could be a Knob Creek. Who knows? We'll see what it is, Adriana. But thank you. Also want to give a big shout out to Mr. Matt ADHD Whiskey, who usually does this with us each and every year, but because of his surgery that he's doing, which we're very happy that he's getting it done, he couldn't join us tonight. So, but yeah, we are getting ready. While you're hanging out, hit the like button, please. Hit the subscribe if you haven't yet. I am trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers here. Last thing that I wanted to mention as well. 2 different fundraisers, guys. St. Jude Children's Hospital, also nationwide. If you donate to either of those 2, you get your entries. If you happen to do a super chat, you're free to do that. You can do a super chat in the chat tonight as well. Any super chats that are donated tonight, because if you feel like you don't want to do any of the GoFundMe's, you just want to do a super chat instead, I will donate anything that I get to the causes tonight as well. However, please keep in mind that YouTube takes like 35% of whatever you donate. So if you want to keep them from getting a cut, just donate directly to the GoFundMe's. So with that, let's see who we got going on tonight. Ooh, no, wrong one. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Blendageddon Whiskey Challenge. It is going to be Eric Sawyer with his blend called the Butterfly Assassin versus Darrell Stewart with his blend called Bootsy's Blend. We also have JG with Milo's Mash and Shelby Strunk with Pour It, Spit It, and Chew It. So those 4 will be going head to head. Me and Fred will be tasting those a little bit later on and seeing which one will win out. Now, Eric Sawyer could be, if he pulls this out, he could end up being the first back-to-back champion we've ever had in Blendageddon history. So we'll see if that happens. Or will Darrell, Shelby, or JG have other things to say about that? So let's see. We already have 300 people in the chat. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Team Darrell. Some people are already chiming in their votes here. I do want to say hi to some people here. Mamuka also donated, so thank you, Mamuka. Really appreciate that. Giselle's Boston is here. He donated. Tim Cornet, EJ is here. Tiller's Bourbon Challenge, 4 Leaf Whiskey. How you doing, Stacy? Got to see Stacy at the big Irish whiskey event over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that with Fred. That was the first time I got to meet Fred, which was awesome. Josh Fritz is here. Great interview with Mr. Dwayne Poor. Oh, yeah, his collection's insane. Yeah, that was a fun video to do, obviously, because I got to see all those cool bottles. Warren Smith is here. Get Strunk. There he is. Cheers to a fine Whiskey Wednesday. Let's go. Chris Buzalencia is here. WD Hare is in the house. William Wiley is here. Eric Carico is here. Bo's Wine Guy. There is Whiskey Mountains. Adriana, again, thank you so much for all your help tonight. Mark S. is here. Tim Cornet, Chase Johnson. He hasn't been able to catch a stream in a few weeks. Glad to finally make one tonight. Thanks for hanging out tonight, Chase. I do remember your photo, so it's good to see you again, man. Thanks for hanging out. Stephen Walt is here. Ham Turkey, Russ L, Slapshot, Dr. Sped, Shauna Marie D is here. Mike Franklin, the Bourbon Jerk, Michael Speakerman, and a bunch more people coming in. Fred Mozenter is here. Cheers from Frankfort, Kentucky. That's awesome. Let's see who else here. No content available. I'm going to catch the replay. So it's good night. Okay. Boyd Mason Lake is here working on a Sagamore cast strength. And let's see more. Oh, there's JG. There's Bill Mills, Smoking Firewater, Sean Dent, and everybody's starting to trash talk already. Absolutely love it. So again, yeah, don't worry about it, Brad Tanica. We're getting there. Got my entries in. FYO Train, says Thrasher. That is awesome. So I got a little bit of a fun little setup tonight here. So you might see me do this every now and again tonight, kind of switch up the camera angle a little bit, trying to upgrade the production here. I am going to need a new lens for this camera. This lens on it actually kind of sucks. But once we do that, you will start seeing some different angles for my live stream, just to kind of upgrade the production quality a little bit for you guys. So go back to center here. Big Vic says, Jay, my sis Whiskey Mountains told me she loves a gallo nod milk so she can grow up big and strong. What, a gallon? I don't know what that means. Yeah, so we'll get that going. Big Vic, thanks for the super chat, man. Yeah, we'll kind of switch it up every now and again when we're just kind of talking to the camera. I might add like a floor whiskey cam at some point too. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll do that when we do that. So without further ado, let's get this going. And before I bring Fred on, if any of you guys missed my Instagram post, Irish OHLQ Ohio had a huge Irish whiskey event over the weekend. And not only did I get to meet Fred Minnick for the first time in person, we got to hang out a little bit, and he also did this for me.
Fred, can you sign my caboose?
I'd love to. Can I sign it like I want to sign it?
Sign it. Please say it.
There you go, my friend.
There you go. Zoom in on that. Thanks, Fred.
You got anything to say about that, Fred? Lucky train.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome the man, the myth. He is Mr. Fred Minnick. How you doing, Fred?
What's up, my friend? How you doing?
How are you, man?
Man, first of all, I got to say, fuck your train. You know, I'm glad we won't be having any of that train business going on, but
yeah, no train business.
I can't wait for this. I've been messaging you all day. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in my office. My wife's out of town. I got the kids home alone. So I'm actually set up in the basement at her little desk area. And I had to clear off all this makeup. I'm like, she has like 17 tubes of makeup at her desk. I'm like, what is going on here? You know? So, but you know, I'm making it work. I'd much rather be in my office, but hey, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you got bourbon. I got some starter stuff going on here.
You're starting with the Cheesy Go foil turkey.
That's it, and then I'm sipping on a little beer, getting myself primed. You know,
I'm actually trying to get a little bottle kill here going. I'm doing a little Remus 5.
Ooh, nice.
In the glass just to kind of warm up the palate a little bit.
By far the best repeal. By far the best Remus.
By far. Let's see, guys. I do want to say cheers to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to Fred for hanging out. Guys, thanks for all the donations. Let's raise some money. Let's help some kids tonight and win some bottles. So cheers to everybody here. Here we go. And good luck to the contestants. All right. Man, I forgot how good that is.
Yeah.
All right, Fred. I mean, before we dive into the finals here, and crown our 2023 champion, even though we're in 2024. Let's before we get into your video that you made about the bourbon boom, hitting some bumps here along the way. Most recently, I do want to talk a little bit about the event and that OHLQ put on.
Right.
Biggest selection of Irish whiskeys that's probably been available in the United States for across the United States. So you got to go to 3 different cities. You went to Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus.
Yep. Got
to experience it all. And I think a lot of people were like, so they got Fred Minnick, but for an Irish whiskey event. That's interesting. so as far as your experience, how did it go for you?
Well, in their defense, I mean, I cover everything. I mean, I'm known for American whiskey, but I mean, I was in Ireland, I think in 2009, writing stories about Irish whiskey for a tasting panel. And it's a big part of my Irish whiskey is a big part of my book, Whiskey Women, The Rise, Fall, and the Birth of American Whiskey. So especially from a history perspective, I've always been a part of Ireland. And of course, Jason, you and Matt are judges on the Ascots, and we get a ton of Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
So are you on the Irish whiskey panel? I forget. Are you on the Irish panel?
I want to say no. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I do love some Irish whiskeys.
Oh, I might throw you a flight or two. We'll
for sure. Yeah, I'd be glad to.
But so, I've been in this business for now 18 years, and I have never seen a state do what Ohio just did. Never seen it. And I don't mean, I'm not even saying that from like a control state perspective. I've never seen a state like work with its distributors or bring in suppliers to do anything to build on what people want. Usually what states are doing is they're causing retailers and liquor or retailers and bars and consumers are causing them headaches. Yeah. But I've never seen anything like this. So they had these free events in Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus. You could just walk in there free, talk to anybody you wanted to. But, by law, they had to charge for the pours. Like they couldn't just give away alcohol. So they charged 50 cents. When was the last time you paid 50 cents for anything? You can't even buy a stick of gum for that anymore.
Yeah, what killed me is one of my buddies that was there. He walked in with a Blanton's bag filled with quarters. And I was like, dude, what are you doing with that Blanton's bag? He's like, I got my quarters in there. So, I thought it was absolutely, it was hilarious.
That's funny, actually. Yeah. But, I just think that's it. I hope other states, and I know they won't, but I hope and wish that they would pay attention to what Ohio just did, because they're going to do this on, at least I hope they are. They're going to do this in other genres. Because what happened there was that people got to discover whiskey at a great whiskeys at a nominal fee. Like you could go get a pour of Middleton 30-year-old for 50 cents.
Yeah, let's remember a couple of these master distillers have never ever been to an event like this in the United States.
That's right.
So it was really, I was fascinated, and I forgot his name, but the distiller over at Woodford, you were hanging with him over there.
He was the brewer.
The brewer. Yeah. I mean, talking to him was fascinating because he was like breaking down malted barley, unmalted barley, how you combine them, how you knock, like all the different variations that you can utilize with Irish whiskey, and actually how vast the category has become with either different finishes, different
Right.
blends. Everybody thinks of Jameson, you
Yeah.
know, but I don't think, you know, and obviously I think to some extent Jameson Redbreast I think is up there. The
Yeah.
spot whiskeys I think for some people, but the category has become so vast with so many different flavor profiles. And not to mention there are 4 different types of Irish whiskey. It's not just one thing.
Oh yeah, Irish whiskey's got a lot of complexity to it. And
Yeah.
speaking of Waterford, one of the fascinating things we had a conversation, and this is the kind of stuff I love talking to people who brew or distill. I love talking to them about this. He
Yeah.
was telling me that the organic barley that they use has like a lower enzyme, so they don't have nearly the yield that they do for like the non-organic, because the organic barley is having to, it's basically survival of the fittest out there. They're not out
Yeah.
there applying
Yeah.
chemicals that help it survive. And so the proteins spike versus the enzymes, which is really good for fermentation. So when you see organic on an Irish whiskey label, that tells you like how much they've invested. Ireland organic means something very different than it does here in America. In America, our organic laws, let's just say we're more into the marketing of saying it's organic, but little Roundup over here, you know.
Yeah, I always have that argument. And my mom is watching. My mom is like crazy with all the organic stuff, and I always tell her, like, Mom, just because it says organic doesn't mean it's organic.
Oh
But she's
yeah.
like, I gotta buy this one because it's organic. So I'm like, okay, Mom.
And here's another one, like grass-fed beef. The majority of the grass-fed beef is actually finished on corn, so it has like a very strong dose of corn to up its marbling a little bit there toward the end. But anyway, in America, we have very different standards on food labeling than they do in Ireland. So having that conversation with him about the enzymic activity in the organic barley was fascinating. But the one of the brands that really stuck out to me was a brand called Liberator, and it's actually owned by a knight. So the guy is he's a sir within the the knighthood of England or United Kingdom, Great Britain. And I tasted that for the first time. I'd had it before blind, but I had tasted for the first time knowingly. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. And I just was like, wow. And I never would have discovered this if Ohio didn't bring them in, you know?
Did you try his estate bottle?
Oh yeah. I think I might've killed a bottle. I actually hung out with them at the Irish consulate afterward, and they're like, "Yeah, just have whatever you want." I was like, "Well, I don't mind if I do."
That estate. He told me the story for it, and he told me that barley that he grew for that estate bottle was grown on his family's land.
Yeah.
It was also cultivated on his family's land. It was also harvested off of his family's land, obviously. But the barrels were also aged on his family's land. So he wanted a whole terroir. He wanted the whole, grain to glass experience just based on where he was from and where he grew up. And the fact that it was only a 3 to 4 year old Irish whiskey, the flavor and the texture on it was absolutely incredible. Could not believe how good that bottle was.
Yeah. And the other part is they have like a holy well or something. Like they have like they have kind of like a special place for Ireland, like their location is like really special. So that was just, like with all things, Jason, whiskey's about people. And, there were the distributor sales reps there doing their best, but they weren't part of the distilleries. They didn't charge these distillers to come in there. And like for events, usually the distillers have to pay $5,000-$10,000 to set up a booth like that. And you could go and you could buy product there. I mean, it just was it was so cool. It was so cool on so many fronts, but I was trying to find ways to express, how I felt about it. And I could never really pull it off. And I think it's because I needed you to just talk to me, but you know how it is. I was trying to do this post. I was like, oh, this is stupid. I can't say that. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I just, how you are. You're reflective over your own words sometimes.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think the whole, I mean, whatever your feelings are with Irish whiskey, I just think the fact that, Ohio pulled that off and brought all those people, like way more people than I
Yeah.
thought I would
Oh,
see.
it was 600. It was a minimum, I think, of 600 a day.
Yeah.
And believe
Crazy.
me, I
Crazy.
could not. The last one, the one that you came to, the Columbus one, that was like we were packed in there like cattle cars,
Yeah,
So
dude,
it was completely packed.
yeah, I was like friggin', I was heating up in there, man. It was hot with all those people
Yeah.
in there.
And the crazy
Guys,
thing is, I
just
never
a
heard
quick
anyone complain.
No,
I was-
yeah. Just a quick update, guys. We have 4,460 already raised for St. Jude and 1,840 for the local nationwide children's hospital here in Ohio. So, guys, thank you so much already. Let's keep it going. Keep the momentum going. Please donate. Amazing stuff, guys. Every little bit helps. All right, so let's talk a little bourbon, man. Let's talk a little bit about your video you put out.
Yeah.
I would imagine you got some interesting feedback from that video.
Man, anytime I do anything, I get lovely feedback. But this one was this one hit people. It hit every facet of the bourbon community. I didn't think that going in, but I got multiple emails from craft distillers, especially, and it kind of, man, Jason, I got to tell you, man, we gotta stand up and support the craft distillers we like, because they're not going to be here if we don't. If people, the voices don't start getting, coming out saying, you know what, I love MB Roland. It's a small Western Kentucky distillery, and I love them. I've loved them from the moment I tasted them, and I love them better as people. They're incredible people. And if we don't start, shouting from the rooftops about the small independent companies we like, then and MB Roland's one of 200 I could shout off like that. But I have a real fear that they're not going to be here in a year, 2 years. And I got emails from tons. Well, I won't say tons, but I got at least a dozen emails from craft distillers that I've known over the years telling me how spot on my commentary was. Also got it from distributors and a lot of other people.
So here's my this is how I'm seeing it. Over the last few years, I feel like you have this delineation, this gap between the whiskey geeks, the whiskey, enthusiasts like we are, versus kind of the everyday drinkers or the people just coming into the game. And I feel like that divide has gotten wider, because while the whiskey enthusiast or the bourbon enthusiast is still willing to go out of their way to try something new, to try these new distillers and look for different profiles, the people that got in when it was hot, I think, are starting to get either, they're just kind of like malcontents about it. They're kind of getting sick of the chase, and I don't think they realized what they were getting into when they got into it.
Yeah, sure.
And they're just happy with buying whatever it is on the shelf. Why am I going to buy a $60 to $70, $80 source whiskey or something that's only 3 or 4 or 5 years old from a craft distiller, when I could just buy something that I love on the shelf for either cheaper, that's more readily available? And I feel like that gap has gotten a little bit wider, where those people on that side were maybe more curious, but I think over the course of time with the price increases and all the chasing have kind of, I think the gap has widened a little bit, and that's my observation, because I just feel like the newer drinkers that I knew I'm hearing more and more, I'm kind of already done with chasing all these bottles. I'd rather just walk in and buy, a bottle of Woodford Reserve or Wild Turkey off the shelf.
Yeah, speaking of Woodford, their sales are up 12%, for that brand. So many of the larger premium brands are doing great. They're not hurting. But one of the points that I made in the video was that people kind of been in this experimentation phase, and they know what they want now. And there's so many new products on the shelves. Liquor stores, whom I'm told across the board are not necessarily, they're done accepting new products from distributors. They need to stock their stores with what people want, especially in this economy. Because it is a luxury category, and in a down economy, luxury goods take a hit, I'm sure Gucci handbags, is that a thing? I think it's a thing.
That's
I'm
the
sure
thing.
yeah,
That's the
I think
thing. Yeah.
handbags are probably going to take a hit too. So, um, yeah, I would say, I would say very unique in particular to the large scale whiskey geek community is that the brands, and I have always said this, that the minute the brands start doing well, they forget about the people who brought them to the dance. And I have felt that a lot of the major distilleries just began completely ignoring their customers who helped build them. And I'm not even talking about Sazerac. I'm talking about like a small retailer in New Jersey who wanted to get a barrel pick for, name any one of the major distilleries. Name
Mhm.
it could be any one of them. But it was all of them at some point for some retailer out there. They wanted, they'd been doing, let's say, a Four Roses barrel pick every single year. Well, one year the year, say 2022, they're told they can't do a pick for them anymore because they don't have the volume that, say, Total Wine does or whoever. And that retailer who had been, curating Four Roses or Heaven Hill or Jim Beam or whatever, and really helping customers understand bourbon, especially through barrel picks, no longer has that. And so that retailer is like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to be putting my effort into your product anymore.
Yeah.
So hello tequila or hello rum, whatever it is. I just believe that the industry got so excited about so many things and tried to build new customers, new markets, and they have forgotten about the people who bought insane amount of bottles.
Yep.
And just completely forgot about them or neglected them rather, and we all face that, in business. If you have a business, no matter what it is, and you're successful, you eventually start looking at other markets and like how you can grow. And at some point, you can hurt the people who brought you to where you are. And I think that the industry has done that in a big, big way.
I totally agree with you. Do you also think one of my things that I heard just from talking to different stores, in and around Ohio, Kentucky, when we had all the different shifts from a distribution perspective, a lot of people were looking for new distributors, which meant new people being, that were account managers. And the shift went from maybe an elder statesman who kind of knew the market and knew how to treat some of those stores that you had mentioned, the ones that have been with them, the ones that have been, selling all those bottles and doing what they were supposed to do. And then all of a sudden they brought in new staff, a younger staff who don't really look at that. All they really care about the numbers. Is that something that you think happened as well?
Yeah. And I think we could point to something that's happened in the last couple of years. And that's when Sazerac moved away from RNDC and started going to beer distributors across the country.
I didn't want to say it, but that's exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah. Never be afraid of me saying, I'll always say it. So
yeah.
If you need to delete that later, feel free to. But
oh no, it's fine. I don't care. This is what this is for. I'm not going to apologize for anything.
So when they did that, and they had their strategies for doing it, Sazerac's very good at what they do, and they don't need grizzled sales rep guy with his nice jacket and shoes that clink on the ground, and he knows every Jim Bob there's been that's walked through that liquor store, and every bartender in the market. Sazerac don't need that. I mean, their products could be frozen and sell and like they could sell anywhere. They could sell anywhere, and it doesn't matter if the brands aren't even that good. Like Benchmark, I know a lot of people love it, but I can't get over how that brand is like taken off. Like it's like it's on the verge of becoming the next Blanton. So I'm like, what the hell? I mean, does Sazerac just have like, magical, like St. Peter's piss that they just dump into a fermenter and gets people addicted? I mean, I don't know how they do it.
I think it's just a ripple effect from people, because every time I spoke to a new drinker, the one brand that they always brought up was Buffalo Trace. I don't know how that happens, how it transitions, if it's friends that tell them, but every new drinker that wants to get into bourbon automatically is programmed to go right to Sazerac products, in particular Buffalo Trace. It still amazes me. I don't know how they do it, how it happens. Is it just because of blends, the Stag name, the Pappy name? It's it's a ripple effect, man.
Well, I mean, historically, Mark Brown, the outgoing CEO of Buffalo Trace, I mean, this guy built it, man. He built this back in the 90s when bourbon was left for dead. He acquires Weller and he acquires the stocks of Weller when United Distillers wanted to, move on from bourbon for the most part. Yeah. And he also acquired the archives. So he would have the recipes and things like that and the history associated with it. And then he would go and buy Taylor from Beam. And he would do all of these things when everyone else was not, giving two shits about bourbon. So, there's part of me that always is like, they built this, they built this and they're very important. But when you get to where we are now, it can be frustrating. But I just hope one day that whoever's behind all the way they've done everything, they write a book or at least call me and tell me how they did it. Cause I would love to know, like, I mean, is there like, are they putting cocaine in there? I'm kidding, of course. And I also did promise a very good friend of mine that I would stop making cocaine jokes. But
that's a fail. So that's
I failed. But your point about going back to the distributors, so they break away from RNDC, and there's lawsuits going on about it, and they go to distributors, beer distributors that have no experience selling spirits. These beer distributors would actually call me and want me to consult to them to teach their sales reps about spirits. And I was like, well, I can't really do that, but you can buy my book. I don't know if they ever bought my book, but they were reaching out to me because they were frantically trying to learn spirits. Like they didn't know anything. They know taps, they know how to clean taps, and they know how to make sure, kegs are moving, and they know how to make sure the proper Dos Equis placement is wherever or what, but they were Sazerac doing that and picking the most obscure distributors in some markets. That is the greatest flex that you can make. That says to the distribution world, you don't matter. Our brands matter. You don't matter. But what that did was that left RNDC trying to, chase and poach brands because they needed to, get people back into their portfolio. So that was huge. And all while this is happening, you have this great big push from money outside of the general bourbon money coming in, and there's celebrities getting in the game. Mm-hmm. There are billionaires like wanting to invest. There are people wanting to buy barrels and just sell them off later on. There's all of these little things that are happening that are changing the dynamics of what we see on the liquor store shelf. And that, so you have like probably about 20 different things happening between 2019 and 2022. And the pandemic happens in the middle of that. And that gives us a really powerful false positive. We're all at home. You and I, we're like live streaming every day, like drinking 15 times a day, saying, hey, come subscribe to my channel because I ain't making any money anywhere else. So you have all this stuff like, all these people drinking. The closest thing that we have to human contact in most states, unless you're in Florida, which they didn't give two shits about anything, was like sitting in your lawn and being across from your neighbor and having a bourbon. That the sales of alcohol during the pandemic gave a lot of people false positives about what the future could be. Meanwhile, you have a new generation, and Generation Z, that loves to smoke pot. I mean, they love weed, man. And if they don't smoke it, they're chewing. They're doing an edible. You have this growing world of health and fitness people who are getting on YouTube or Instagram or doing TED Talks, and they're constantly talking about how, what we're doing is poison. So you have all of these factors that are creating this moment of like, is it healthy? And I got to tell you, the industry's doing just fine.
Yeah.
But the Gen Z is hesitant about not just coming over to bourbon, but other types of alcohol. And when they are choosing something, they're choosing tequila first. So I don't know how long that will last. I don't know if it's sustainable. But
Yeah,
I
I mean,
remember,
tequila, I mean, obviously we just had an Irish whiskey event here in Ohio, but from what I've been told, tequila is a very, very huge seller here as well. I'm
yeah,
guessing that's the case, around the country as well. But another thing you had mentioned was, I think that got people a little shaky, maybe thinking about the industry, was Brown Forman selling off their cooperage.
right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that kind of, I'm not going to say freak people out, but people are like, okay, well, what's happening? To me, it was just an injection of cash. It was maybe a thing they didn't exactly need. How did you see it?
So Brown Forman is the only major company in the spirits business that has their own distillery. Or I'm sorry,
Yep.
their own cooperage.
Yep.
And I'm sure everyone in the watching this knows that is where cooperages are where people make barrels, and barrels are used to age whiskey, tequilas, etc. And they need that because they have the largest whiskey brand that gives them flexibility that their competitors do not. When they started buying and building up new stave mills and cooperages, and I want to say, I think that was happening around 2016, 2018, in that time frame, somewhere around there. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't make a lot of sense to many of us because you kind of knew their capacity. The only thing that you could ascertain was that they wanted newer facilities. It's kind of like a lot of us move out of houses. I mean, I don't. I've stayed in the same house for like 15, 16 years. But a lot of
Yep.
people move out of houses and they go to a new one right away. I think there was a little bit of that mentality at Brown Forman, but the cooperage didn't fit in their portfolio. I really do not believe that they could get it to work how they wanted it to work. And instead of trying to make it work, fit within their system, they're like, fuck it, let's sell it. Independent stave, needs a new cooperage a week, to keep up with demand. So
Yeah, for sure.
let's just shutter it. So I don't think that was ever a cash thing. I think that was one where it just didn't fit. It
Yeah,
didn't
I
fit.
agree.
So,
Yeah, I think people were making a lot more of it than what it was. Like you said, wasn't a great fit. I also think they got a good amount of cash for it. But
yeah,
I don't
and
think
working
I don't,
with and
yeah,
doing stuff with independent stave, you never get anything out of them. Like, so
yeah,
they're never going to disclose what that was. And if someone were to disclose it, they would quickly be taken to court kind of deal. But I would say that it still fascinates me, even though that they sold that facility. It still fascinates me that they are making their own barrels. It's just
yeah.
it's a big deal,
It's incredible. Yeah.
and they made that move. If you don't mind, I'll jump in a little history for a second.
No, dude, I love the history. Go for it.
So coming out of World War II, and during World War II and coming out of World War II, all the major distillers were buying up the independent brands, and because they couldn't afford to make industrial alcohol for the war effort, and they couldn't compete with the larger companies that were knocking their prices down to like 99 cents to $2.50. Like, they were really low. So you had like a lot of small bourbons that couldn't compete with that. And Brown Forman, which was also selling like leather goods and pharmaceuticals back in those days, companies were not just diversified in spirits. They would sell chairs and cars. They were all over the place. But Brown Forman did something quite a bit different than the other major companies. They were buying cooperages. So they bought cooperages in like the 40s, and that put them in a very good position to buy Jack Daniels, because that was, they could reduce the amount of cost that they would have when making Jack Daniels. And Jack Daniels got other offers, and they chose Brown-Forman in large part because of that. But yeah, I mean, it's a part of their DNA, and they're not gonna shutter them. But you know, that Alabama one just didn't fit.
One thing I do want to talk about a little bit here is bourbon pricing. I think a lot of people were extremely taken aback by the prices we saw last year. A lot of big price increases, especially from my favorite distillery in the world, Wild Turkey. You know, Masters keep getting up to 300. Their Generations bottle getting up to 450. A lot of other price increases from distillers, from you know, obviously all the LEs. It just seemed like it was nonstop. Do you see this as sustainable? Is this a pricing model that is actually is this in response to a market adjustment, or do you feel this is just the retailers getting a bit greedy? How do you see it?
Well, I don't think we can just you know, directly blame the retailer.
I'm sorry, not the retailers, the distillers.
Okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's take a few different scenarios. You have brands like that are NDP, right? Non-distiller producers or independent bottlers. They do a lot of their pricing based on the money they have to get back based on the cost they have in the bottle.
Yep.
And you know, the consumer is paying $200 for it, but the distiller or the independent producer may have $50 to $70 in the bottle, depending on what they paid for it, in you know, what they paid for the barrels. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was seeing Excel sheets for like 10-year-old Kentucky bourbon for being like $6,000 a barrel to like $7,000. I mean, the amount of money that they were wanting for barrels was insane.
Yep.
And so that price, and actually come to think, it might have been more like $10,000 in some of them.
I was just going to say, some of the lists that I saw were Kentucky bourbon. You were looking at $9,000 to $10,000.
Yeah. Those were, now that I think about it, those, when I'm thinking about a list of like 3 years ago, I think MG, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of money, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah. So that money gets passed down, and the supplier doesn't sell directly to the consumer. And so they actually end up selling half of what the SRP is to the distributor. So they'll sell, so if it's a $200 bottle, they'll sell it to the distributor at about $100. The distributor will market it up 30%. And then it gets marked up for the to the 200 point for the retailer. That math isn't perfect, but it's close enough.
I mean, that's generally what we see, though. So and I'm glad you're bringing this up, because I do feel like there's a lot of people, like when I review bottles and I see other reviewers talking about price points on specific bottles, especially source ones. Again, it gets back to that gap widening, I think, where people are unwilling to pay, or they can't understand why there's such a premium on source whiskeys versus the ones that are available on the shelf. That's because these guys aren't churning out so much whiskey. They don't have the scale that these other big distillers have. They're not gonna be pumping out gallons and gallons of whiskey, filling them, 2,000 barrels a day, and just to do that. So a lot of the costs accumulate over time, and unfortunately, it gets hit to the consumer in the very end. Now, I do think it goes back to your point that, pick and choose the ones that you want to support and support them. Because to go back to our previous fact, if we don't continue to support these distillers and these blenders, I'm sorry, not distillers, but these NDPs and these blenders that we love that are doing interesting things, in a few years, they could be gone.
I think that's exactly right. And knowing there are a lot of brands right now that saw this market horizon. And I just don't think there is a better forecaster of the NDP model than Aaron from Smoke Wagon. He's so good at understanding where the trends are going, where the tides are within the space of people buying barrels and everything. and his small batch is like, I think, $35 to $40 in most markets. That's a loss leader, man. He's
Yeah.
I don't think his margin on that is any more than like 50 cents to $1, based on the economics of what it takes to produce that whiskey. And he's pricing it like that because he knows he's doing it based on consumers versus what he has to get back in the bottle. Now, look, Smoke Wagon ain't hurting. Smoke Wagon, no, that brand ain't going anywhere. But it reminds me of an interview I did with Steve Thompson, the former president of Brown-Forman, and he founded Kentucky Artisan Distillery. He always said that you cannot create a brand or a whiskey with your need of income on the line. You have to do it based on where it sits on the shelf and where you want it to sit on the shelf. If you want to be next to Woodford Reserve, which Woodford Reserve and Maker's Mark are the two brands that every bourbon want to be next to. It just is, because those two brands go up 10, 12% every single year in sales. And he's like, if you want to be next to them, you better be priced like them. And if you want to be behind the glass container, you're going to be like Pappy. Well, then your whiskey better be fucking really brilliant. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So I just think that so many of these decisions have been improperly made based on what these companies need for income or for revenue. And it's always to pay investors who are always pissy about what's owed to them. So these decisions on pricing are not done with the consumer in mind. It's done with what they think the market will bear and what they need for their bank accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think there's something to be said for the NDP that is doing right by the market or trying to keep costs down. And but there's also a reason we have some high price models as well. I think it's across the board, and like you said, with as much selection as we have in the market today, I think it has become a little bit of a challenge for a whiskey drinker, especially a new one, to get into this hobby and figure out which direction is what. I think there's an avenue for the curious. There's an avenue for the one that kind of wants to stay on the shelf, just be kind of a casual drinker. And there's one for the middle of the road that wants to maybe wants to try some stuff on the shelf, but however is willing to try some other different things from some NDPs or craft distillers. But there are so many great craft distillers that I've gotten to try over the last few years.
Yeah,
it'd be heartbreaking if some of those went away. So,
but Jason, we have got to like stand up for them, because, and I don't mind paying $80 a bottle. I mean, the price scenario I kind of talked about and everything is more about the consumer side of things. But there's an entire market of us that will pay $80 a bottle.
Absolutely.
For a brand that we like and we want to support. Fort Gate is a great example. I think what Fort Gate's doing, I mean, they're pricey as all can be. And I buy those bottles. I mean, I've done 2 barrel picks with them. And it's
interesting you bring them up, because whenever I do a review of their stuff, that's probably the number one comment I get. Like, $200 for source juice, like, I'm not, like, no way I'm buying that. And I get that to that point, but if you're an NDP and you're doing at least unique things with your distillate or finding unique casks, I'm willing to pay the premium to try something I've never tasted before. Very, very much like the Kelvin 60. That was a double oaked mash bill from a distillery that does not put out double oaked mash bills or products. So if you want to try a double oaked Schmorschmoses, you can look at Kelvin 60 and actually try it. And I think that's where some of those outliers are when you do your homework.
Schmorschmoses?
Yeah, that's my mash bill name for it. Schmorschmoses.
Oh my god. Oh, that's good.
That's me saying it without saying it. Come on,
I love it. I love it.
You know the game.
That rhymes with 4 roses, by the way. So.
Oh, does it? Does it?
Yeah.
Another another whiskey brand another whiskey brand I'm actually absolutely in love with is Barrel King. I think what Jared and Rachel are building down there,
Oh yeah,
kind of a membership type of model,
Mhm.
and the stuff that they're doing, finishing and used stag barrels, willet, rounding out different flavors of younger whiskeys, blending some really great single barrels. I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, you're just not going to find a lot of that stuff. So, am I willing to
And
pay a premium? Yeah.
yeah, but here is the elephant in the room that I think we don't really pay enough attention to. They definitely will light it up in the comments, so I know that, and that's the economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we have a good economy, I think these conversations are fewer, and I think those people who are buying $10,000 to $20,000 of bourbon a year, are back at it. So
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it, but it's not all of it. And the thing that I will say is that I have, throughout my career, I have been an advocate for transparency and pushing brands and calling brands out in my books or my blogs. And I mean, there have been times I've consulted lawyers because I thought I was going to get sued for violating some kind of trade secret law because I revealed a mash bill and all this other stuff and where people got their whiskey from. But he's like, oh man, no, you're good. You got that taken care of. You got that taken care of. People don't realize the amount of shit that I had to do to write Bourbon Curious. When that first edition came out, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get sued. That book was insured. I was so nervous about that because I revealed everyone's mash bill, and it was all true. So that's the greatest events.
Yeah, I get it.
But today, if you grab a bottle of bourbon, there's the mash bill on there. They've got still proof. They got barrel entry proof. They got even the char number of their barrel.
Yeah, I love when distillers do that. Or I'm sorry, either distillers or NDPs. Be as transparent as possible. If you're going to ask us to pay that much money for a bottle, whether it's expensive or even if it's not that expensive, be transparent. That's all I ask.
And even the celebrities involved. You got Ian Somerhalder, with 17 million Instagram followers, getting on his Instagram March 3rd and talking about bottled and bond.
Yeah.
If you would have told me that when I started my career that this stuff was going to be happening, I'd be like, this is awesome. Nothing's going to take bourbon down. Woo, we're going to go. But, the economy is going to weed things out. And it'll also put in a price, a natural price correction. And I think that's where we will see, what the actual cost is for things. So there's a long time kind of number that's used in Kentucky that 60% of a standard bottle before any marketing, the cost of that is taxes. And that was, JTS Brown was always one they would point to because Heaven Hill puts no marketing in JTS Brown. And that used to be like a $12 bottle. Yeah. And so we would say, all right, so 60% of that is taxes, and the rest of that is, the whatever. And so we know that they are marking stuff up based on what the market will bear. So the question is, how much will these people be able to mark down and not go out of business? That's the
Yeah, so a couple of quick rapid fire questions for you, just because I think these will be a little bit more fun. Because we did talk about the business, and long story short, I think economy is going to drive a lot of the whiskey market here, guys, as we go forward. Support those smaller brands if you can. They're fighting for shelf space, but the more you like a brand, support your favorite brands, especially if they're local. All right, so Fred, real quick, if you had to pick I'm not going to say a new brand, but I don't know, in terms of craft whiskey, what are some brands that you've been enjoying pretty recently?
Well, the James E. Pepper decanter made my top 25, and
Dude,
my top 100.
I reviewed that like not that long ago. I
Yeah.
could not believe how good that bottle is.
Yeah, it's so good, right?
It's so stupid good.
And I may or may not have consumed 2 more of those in my household since.
Like what?
Um,
Like what? Like so, what got me is, I'm kind of reading about it. It says average age in there is 5.5 years old. I'm
Mhm.
drinking this thing. I'm like, there's no way. There's no
Yeah.
way it's 5.5. That's nuts. That's nuts to me.
Well, Amir's been in the game for a long time,
Yeah.
and the shit
Yeah.
that he's had to do to use the James E. Pepper name, you know, he's had to do a lot. He's just like he's one of those guys that had a vision, and if he had like business partners or people that weren't afraid to tell him it's a bad idea, he probably wouldn't have done it. He's one of those kind of guys. Like he spent a lot of money to make a James E. Pepper. But I'll tell you, man, he had some of the best MGP ryes back in the day too. So if you ever get one of those like old MGP ryes in the black bottle, chef's kiss. Another one's out of Colorado called Boulder. Boulder 2 years
Spirit?
in a row. Yeah,
Boulder
Boulder.
Spirit?
Boulder cash strength product. 2 years in a row. It's been in my top 25. Last year it was number 10. I think actually they were. I don't remember the exact ranking. I don't have that memorized, but that's one of them. It was up there. I also cannot say enough good things about Driftless Glen.
Oh man, you're preaching the choir, man.
Yeah,
I love Driftless Glen.
Out of Wisconsin, and the crazy thing about Driftless Glen is that their team has never reached out to me. There's never been any kind of like press release sent to me or anything like that. My familiarity with them has been every bit of it's been purchased at a liquor store, so I've never
have you had some of their single casks?
Oh yeah, I buy Brad Williams's single barrels that he picks from them.
They're
They're
by the
great.
way, guys, tonight, so again, to reiterate, anybody watching now, we are doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital as well as Nationwide Children's Hospital. If you have not donated yet, please click those links that are being posted in the chat. Also, you could click on any of the links below to donate. Again, we're trying to reach that goal. Tonight, every $10 entry, every $10 will give you an entry to win one of about 62 different prizes that you could win. And this includes, I'll run down a few of them because we are talking about Driftless Glen. 2 of my very own Mash and Journey Driftless Glen picks are in the mix tonight. We have a Michter's 10-year single barrel for 2023. It is an A barrel. We have a 4 Roses Brent Elliot Select single barrel OBSQ. We have a Woodford Reserve double oak, little 375. We have a Stag Junior 22A. We have a Mash and Journey Butter Pecan Burai. We have a Bunnahabhain Cast Strength. We have Buzzards Roost Cigar Rye signed by Jason Browner himself. We have a 4-Gate Kelvin Collab 5, a 4-Gate 10-year Indiana Foundation. We have a bottle of my personal 4-Gate double finish pick, sherry and rum, absolutely stellar stuff. A bottle of Eagle Rare, Old Forester single barrel pick. Guys, it is endless. If you want to see the full list, check out the description of the video below. But if you want to get in on these prizes, please keep continuing to donate and raise that money so we can help some kids tonight. So
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal bottles in the giveaway. All right, Fred, it is upon us. It is 10 o'clock.
All right.
I think it is time for us to dive into these blends.
By the way, do you know where your children are? Do you remember that? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your
children are? Yeah. I like how you said, do you know who your children are? You're having trouble knowing who they are?
Well, I do mix up their names from time to time. It does happen. You know, the thing is, I even occasionally call them the dog. So I'll say the dog name. It's like, because they're all in trouble all at once. So I'm like, Big Oscar, Julian, stop. So.
Yeah, it's like who are? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know who your children are?
I let them.
You pulled one of these friends.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
All right, guys. So who's gonna be crowned champion tonight and kind of react like this? who is going to be the Rudy of the competition tonight. Let's take a look at the quick bracket, and this is who's going against each other. Ladies and gentlemen, is Eric Sawyer with the Butterfly Assassin. The defending champion makes it all the way back to the Final Four tonight. He's going against JG with Milo's Mash, Shelby Strunk, Pour It, Spit It, and Chew It, and then Darrell Stewart with Bootsy's Blend. So those are going to be the top four we're going to be tasting. These have been poured blind, and we're about to taste them in order. So I'm going to go A, B, C, D, Fred. Y'all, you ready?
Yeah, I'm pouring.
All right.
By the way, I think my favorite name out of all those is Bootsy's Blend. I'd love to know what Bootsy's means.
So here we go. I actually named that blend for Darrell.
Oh, okay.
Because Darrell Stewart, actually one of the Darrell. We actually had a huge fundraiser for him this year. His daughter has been going through cancer treatment. And we did a huge fundraiser for him. And basically what we did was, along the way, and he has helped me with a lot of these Blendageddon fundraisers over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I
remember, you've seen Darrell on.
He came on the live stream with us. Yeah.
So I don't know how or when it happened, but somebody had photoshopped Darrell with a big afro. And I'm like, he looks like Bootsy Collins. With the afro on, so that's how Bootsy's Blend came in. So there you go.
I like it.
John Vornick said, "Thanks for doing this, Jason. Thanks to you for everyone that's donated, guys. Real quick, while you're hanging out, please hit the like button below. Definitely helps the channel. Trying to get up to that 100,000 subscriber milestone here. So we have A, B, C, D, the 4 blends. Fred and I, we're just gonna break them down, go through them." Like we normally do.
Hey, Jason, I know I didn't tell you this beforehand, but I've got in my inventory right now, I got 10 books. If anybody, I could mail 10 books out to people for
10 books.
Whatever donation you think is worthy of 10 books, like right now before we get going. I'd sign them and mail them out to them.
Okay, so you want to add 10 signed books to the giveaway list?
Yeah. Add 10 signed books.
All right, so Adriana, if you could do that, add 10 signed books to the giveaway list. That'll be great.
By the way, it's an incredible investment because you can get quite a bit more when you resell it on eBay.
That's right. Fred's signed book. Yeah.
My first edition. I have one of my first editions of my books going for like $1,500. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Really? Were they selling it with a bottle of Blanton's next to it?
No, it was. I mean, people are actually buying them. I'm like, "Are you waiting? You think I'm going to die or something?" But first edition books are like a big deal in the book collector world.
Hey, Fred, I bought this just for you.
Oh, that's badass. That's a good looking ascot right there.
You like this one?
It's very fluffy. Yeah.
I didn't really remember how to tie this, but I know there's like
just flip it over and tuck it in. I mean, it's the least complicated thing to do. I mean, everyone thinks it's all fancy, but little
look at that. I'm ready.
Really good. And here I am in a hoodie.
Yeah, I told you guys you'd be rewarded if you hung out tonight. This is my my blue, and I went with my Mets colors, a little bit of a blue and orange vibe.
It's a good look for you.
There you go. There's a little different camera angle. You can check it out, guys. Look at that baby.
I will tell you, that's silk, right?
It is silk. It is silk. Okay.
If you get to sweating, you might get a little bit of a rash there. So since you,
I'm gonna post a picture.
Since your skin on silk,
I'm gonna post a picture of my ascot rash. That's be great.
Yeah, maybe Neosporin it later. It's like matte burn. We get a little bit of matte burn. So, are we doing this together? Are we doing this?
No, we're going to do this together. We're going to go through each one. Let's start with A. We'll kind of do our notes, talk about mouthfeel, talk about experience, the flavors you're getting, and we'll go from there. Yep.
Ooh, I like
it. I'm gonna add a little groovy music here to the background just to kind of get
do people know what we're tasting?
Well, here's the thing. So this is what I changed this year, Fred.
Yeah.
I did not allow any store picks or group picks within these blends because I wanted people to be able to recreate this blend. So
Ooh.
all of these are utilizing available whiskeys, American available whiskeys. Obviously, I think some of these will be dependent on where they live and what they can get or have access to. But yeah, these are no store picks or group picks allowed in these blends this year. So
Okay. Now, as we are tasting Glass A, will the viewers know what we're tasting?
no, all they know is the 4 finalists. That's it.
Got it.
There's Eric, Darrell, JG, and Shelby. We also don't know what's in these blends yet. So we'll find out what was in all these blends. So let's start with letter A here. And I want to say good luck to Eric, Darrell, JG, and Shelby. Eric, we'll see if you repeat. We'll see if Darrell, Jay, or Shelby will take you down. Here we go.
Well, I gotta say the nose on A is what I want to smell in a whiskey. It's fruity. It's big.
It's extremely rich.
Man, it's got some vibes going on. I don't know if it's the music playing in my headphones now. and I'm about to get down and funky on open here.
You're feeling it. Want to thank. Let's see if I think I missed the super chat here. Did I? Let me see here. DeWalt says winner. Want to thank Mark B for becoming a new member. Thanks so much, Mark.
Attaboy, Mark.
There you go, Mark. All right, let's take a sip, man. Cheers.
You think Mark ever goes by Marky Mark?
I hope so. I mean, if
I feel like
my
Mark
name
B,
was
Mark B
my
needs
name
to
was
be,
Mark. Yeah, my name was Mark. I would.
He totally needs to be. All right.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Holy shit. That's going to be tough to beat right there. That's good.
I don't know how this gets beat.
We have longtime listener, first time caller. Big high five for doing this. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much for the support. And there he is, the legend. I realize this might be too late, but my first Barrel King blend will be released next month. And I want to add a bottle to the giveaway. P.S. I miss you guys and wish so badly I was on with you tonight. Good luck, competitors. ADHD, we miss you too, buddy. But we know that you're getting yourself healthier, and we couldn't be more happy for you. So we'll see you soon, man. We'll definitely collab soon. Let's do something when that first Barrel King blend releases. And thank you so much for offering up one tonight. Adriana, add ADHD's Barrel King blend.
Nice.
Number 1 to the list tonight. That's freaking amazing, dude. You're a legend. Thank you so much, man.
I love Matt. And you too, man. You provide so much for the Ascots. Like y'all's tasting notes and scores are so good.
Yeah.
I know I've told you that before, but I think everyone watching needs to know, like, these aren't just like YouTuber tasters. They're really fucking good tasters. So
yeah, I appreciate that, Fred.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, brother. A is holy shitballs, man.
Yeah, A is already a beast of a blend right there. All right, A's got top scores right now. Let's go to B.
Yeah, I got to rinse my palate out. Like I need a minute here. Ask me a question so this gets off my tongue.
Ask me. Well, I'll talk to. Let's see what's going on in the chat here a little bit while we.
Yeah, that on the tongue it's so vibrant. It's still there.
Yeah, and it's got that thing that you talk about, the sides of the tongue.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's like someone is like stuck its hand on my tongue, is like pulling it out, ripping it around, moving it around, and then tickling the roof of my palate. I know that sounds very awkward, but that's how my mouth feels right now. And I can't give you just any one flavor. There's like 20 flavors going on at once. And it's still on my tongue. It's still
all right, guys. We are at, let's see, we are under just $10,000 total. So let's keep going, guys. Keep donating. Let's get up to that $10,000 milestone. Working our way to maybe 15 tonight. We raised $22,000 last year, so I want to at least get close, guys. Keep on donating if you're watching, if you're hanging out. Appreciate it. I do want to. Let's see here. It was a good question here from. Where is it? For you, Fred. Oh, Kenneth Rathburn. Could Fred elaborate on why he thought 2023 was a bad year for whiskey? That's a great question. Why did you think it was a bad year for whiskey?
I thought it was. I thought there were a lot of misses, and anytime there is a predominant trend that comes out that's so alienating and polarizing, like Amberana, I thought that was bad for the in general.
Amburana, freaking Amburana, man.
So like that's an example, and also like it was just an explosion of blends of straights, but it was like you had like Johnny new to bourbon, coming in doing the blend of straights, and it tasted like dog shit. But some blend of straights were epic. They were incredible. I mean, there's so many great ones, but man, like Lost Lantern has released some really nice blend of straights.
Yes, I love what Lost Lantern.
Adam knows whiskey, right?
Yeah.
But there's like a new brand on the street. Like I just see it in the store. I'm like, yeah, see what this is all about. It's like they combine Kesslers and bleach and mixed in a little bit of dog shit. I mean, that's literally the flavor. Well, maybe not literally the flavors, but those are some flavors.
Jason Coates with an amazing idea. An Amburana finish Dickel. Do two wrongs make a right? What do you think?
Flintstone vitamin meets cinnamon.
I don't see that working.
No, that won't work. But that is funny.
All right, let's go to letter B. Let's see what we got, man.
Yeah, it's finally off my tongue.
Yeah. Oh man, B. B's a little bit darker.
B's a hashtag no for the nose for me. I get that. I get that epic, over astringency, like woody fence post being chopped down.
Sawdust, you get a little sawdusty note to it?
Yeah, like any kind of wood thing. Like there's some nice things here, but when I smell that, and I've also, I mean, I've got that genetic composition where I'm like really sensitive to tannins, and this is kind of in that line.
Yeah, for me, I'm not getting that really on the palate though. I mean, I think some of it's there. Yeah, I think you might get the tannins, but I do like the sweetness that's here too.
Oh, it's not as prominent on the palate.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's some hazelnut, some coffee here.
Yep.
But I mean,
I definitely get the hazelnut right away. Yeah. That's what hit me. It was the hazelnut. So Stepan, these are called copita glasses or stemmed tulip glasses. I always get questions about these whenever I utilize them on a video. So, and I feel like I always say it: stemmed tulips, copita, whatever you want to call it. So,
in all the events that I do, I'll tell you that the Glen Cairn is one of the easiest to transport. Those stem glasses, when you're doing like a tasting for like 300-400 people, they just don't make it. They
don't. I agree. And he said you confirm went through Denny Lopez. Oh, he's talking to Whiskey Mountains. Okay. Shoot, I forgot. Fred hates yummy oaky whiskey. Says Eric Sawyer.
Hey, here's the thing about it though, right? We're all different. We all have our own palates. We're all unique, and you know what I like, and so you can use that to your advantage. Of like, if I don't like something and you like oak, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm getting that shit because Fred hates it. So I mean, that's kind of how Kenny and I at Bourbon Pursuit, my boy, we are complete opposite. We couldn't be further from, and Ryan's like right there in the middle between us. But he loves like licking a fence post. I mean, I'm telling you, that boy loves oak. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of oak, but I like grain. I like the nuance of grain. And it's like you opened up Kenny's mouth and had a cat pee in his mouth for having grain forward whiskey. Like he hates that shit. Like, I love it. So, like, one of the ones we defer on, Spirits of French Lick. And that's a brand, going back to that earlier conversation, that's a brand I support all day, every day.
Yeah,
as much as I can.
Wholeheartedly. And yes, I think there are a good amount of people that are not crazy about them because they are grain forward, just as you mentioned. There's, to me, it's not that I dislike grain forward, but there's a specific flavor I get with grain forward whiskeys that is bitter, sour, or it ends up being a little bit. I think that's what it is mainly, bitter, sour. If I get that on a grain forward whiskey, it usually kills it. However, if I get kind of like that, if I get a grain forward whiskey that I could really taste the grain in a good way, where I'm getting the flavors of the whiskey and I'm kind of almost tasting a prequel of what it's going to become, which is very, very reminiscent of what I get from either like a Spirits of French Lick or even, something like the James E. Pepper Decanter bottle, where a hint of grain there, but man, does it go for it exceeds expectations as you keep sipping it, and you get all these different flavors out of it. I think there's something to be said about that. But yeah, I mean, we say it all the time. If you line up with a specific reviewer or YouTuber you like, then you're bound to get whiskeys that you're going to like. So
yeah, that's right. And the one thing about, studying grain and the younger expressions, what you really are studying is you're studying the company's fermentation techniques. Like, if you are tasting sour or burnt, that means they're screwing up in fermentation or the actual cooking of the grains. And so I've always believed, and I will go to my grave with this, that making whiskey is more art than science.
Yeah,
you can have all the computers you want, but if you don't got the right person pressing the button at the right time, which is the art.
There you go. Tim Cornet says, I did a tasting with Dixon Dedman just before 2XO, and he said he loves Fred, but they differ on the oak profiles. Yeah, and I think that's something that I've heard about Fred as well. Like, he doesn't like oak. He's probably not going to like this, and that's fine, because there are bottles like this. There are bottles I disagree with you on, and I'm sure it's vice versa. But there are bottles that, like the James E. Pepper, that we align on. It just depends on what it is.
And hey, man, it ain't personal. My feelings don't get hurt.
It's just, everyone's, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So
yeah, I mean, this is fun for me. Like, I mean, I look back on my life and the shit I've been through. If I'm going to get hurt feelings over someone not agreeing with my palate, then send me back to Iraq. Because
do you consider Penelope 4-grain barrel proof grain forward? Because I feel like I could taste all 4 in a sip, and I love it. I do. And for me, that's a great example of a good forward grain forward whiskey for sure. So that's a great
Agreed. The Amberana from Penelope, not so much. The Rio, everyone was like batshit crazy. Like,
did you like the Rio?
No, I fucking hated it. That was awful. It was like,
I'll say this about the Rio. When I first tasted it, it was all Amburana, but it got about halfway down the bottle, and then it got all honey. So it did like evolve a little bit over time.
So it's like real life. The honey drops to the bottom.
Yeah. You poo. honey had his poo. So all right. So what do you think overall of B here?
Hey, look, B solid. The nose on B is weak, but the palate is great, and I do.
Palate phenomenal. I love the spice on B, and I love how darker it is. However, compared to A just might have.
I'm not willing to rule it out. I'm not willing to rule out B.
I'm not ruling out B either. I do like B a lot. So here's the thing, Fred, because we had a little bit of a scheduling, a hard time scheduling this. These blends have been mingling for quite a while, which is awesome, because this is the true test of whether a blend is going to be good or not. If it's sitting in that vial or sitting in that sample jar and it's going and going and going, sometimes that blend just gets totally messed up, or sometimes it gets even better. So I think for anything that these guys put into these blends, I think you guys are getting the true representation of how good this blend is over time. Not only when you first tried it and when you first blended it, but over the course of time in a lengthy type of setting what these blends could turn into. So we'll see how it goes. So far A and B are great.
Yeah, they are great. I might give the nod to A, but I'm not ruling out B just yet. So let's go to C.
Let's go to C.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
This has got a little bit of that kind of like, I swear to God, it's like, did I accidentally pour my wild turkey over here? You know, it smells a little bit like this gold foil wild turkey.
Yeah, this is probably the most citrus forward out of the three so far. Getting a lot of citrus here. But I'm also, I could see some turkey funk in there a little bit.
But it's got that like dusty note, the dankness, if you will.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
But that's not meant to be a bad thing. That's
JG says, is that supposed to make me feel better, Jason? I don't know. It depends on if your blend sucks or not, JG. That's all I'm saying.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
Oh, it does have an old school funk on it.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
This
I haven't tasted these in a while. It's been a while since I tasted these. So
wait, you already tasted them?
Well, remember they went through brackets before they got to the finals.
That's right.
So
I'm sorry.
For the initial tasting, I don't remember these at all. So I think they did change over some time. Wow, that's real. I don't remember any of these samples having such a kind of a dusty funk on it.
I want to say that I think C would win my top 100, or be in the top 5, because it has like 3 elements to me that survive like a big blind tasting. One, it's got the depth to it. Another one, it's got a real major note, and that mouthfeel ain't going away. Holy shit.
That was my biggest takeaway from that one is the texture of it. The texture of it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Thank you for the focus on the kids, says Scott. Absolutely. So the palate is holy shit. Sign me up. Joshua, it is not too late for the bottle giveaway. Josh, you could click the link in the description. There's 2 different GoFundMe. One's for St. Jude, one for local hospital, Children's Hospital here in Ohio, nationwide. Steven, we're going to find out exactly at the end what is in these blends, so you guys can make them at home. I'll do a post on Instagram, and I'll do a post obviously on Patreon and on YouTube of all 4 of these blends and the components that made it to the finals, so you could try to recreate it at home. So,
and y'all, if you haven't already, hit the like button for Jason, and also share the link, text it to your friends and your bourbon groups and all that, because we're trying to raise money tonight. And it's kind of it's a big thing. We're trying to help some kids here. And Jason's taking it upon himself to make this his annual thing. And we got to show up. We got to show up here. So if you're
we're at about 11,000 so far collectively, which is amazing, guys. So again, that'd be great. If you know anybody in your bourbon groups, anybody on Instagram, whatever it is, share the link, share the video. Let's get some more donations going with a chance to win over 60 different bottles or sample packs, books from Fred that are signed that are going to be worth $1 million when he goes to the heavens. We'll see what happens with that.
Hey now.
I'm just saying, you're gonna be like the artist, like when JD Bourbon Approach says cheers all. Share on Facebook, Instagram, texting, whatever. Just get them in here, guys. They don't even have to join the chat. Just get them to donate. Help out some of the kids. So one more sip of letter C here.
Yeah, don't mind if I do.
Yeah, it's got a funk on it, man. It's got a funk on it.
Hey, Jason, have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah.
How many fights have you been in?
2.
Did you win?
The first one, I was a kid. It was I was small. I don't think I really knew how to fight. The second one, yes, I won because I was trained. I don't think I've really mentioned this. I have a first degree black belt. Not that it really means a lot. There's a lot of people with first degree black belts. Obviously, the UFC fighting things that people do, but I trained for a long time, so I know how to take care of myself.
What's your black belt in?
Jiu-jitsu.
Where the fuck are we rolling, man?
Wow, you want to spar?
Training?
I haven't trained in a long time. I did it.
You could teach me shit, man. That's
I like 10 years ago. Yeah. So
I mean, you need to get back on the mats.
Would love to hear more about Fred's jiu-jitsu journey. maybe we'll fill some content around it.
Why did you quit?
It's not that I quit. I moved, and then I couldn't really continue my training, and then I moved to Ohio, and I don't know. I just didn't really have, between starting this channel and my regular job, I didn't really have time to. I still do. I have a kicking bag here downstairs in my basement, so I still try to keep up with it. It's the main thing to do is to keep flexible, and that's something I've had to do. You got to stretch every single day. And you got to stay flexible, and I probably don't do it as much as I should. But when I try to, it definitely comes back to me a little bit. So spinning roundhouse kicks and, it was a lot of floor exercising and wrestling and trying to pin pin your opponent. But I also learned a lot. It was kind of a hybrid type of style that I learned. So it was awesome. I loved it when I was doing it for sure.
Get back into it, man. Columbus has a lot of gyms.
Yeah.
There's what's the gym everyone tried to get me to go to?
You've only ever been in 2 fights? No, I feel like I was a wild child. Yeah. The second fight. So my uncle Joey had Down syndrome. And he passed away when I was in my senior year of high school. I miss him every day, and my second fight was when somebody made fun of him, and I went crazy. Yeah. So that was the. I have a lot of patience. It takes a lot for me to get angry, but when you start making fun of him, I lost it. So
yeah,
I'm not proud of it, to be honest, but I mean, I'm gonna defend him. So.
Yeah, I mean, good on you for that. I mean, I was the same way with my brother. I got a lot of fights defending my brother, and then honestly, I don't know how many fights I got in. I got in a lot in school, in college, in the Army. I've not gotten in any fights in the Bourbon time, So I think I've pretty well calmed down in this world. But yeah, I was in this fraternity, and I don't know why, but we would always pick fights with other fraternities, and it was stupid. And then in the military, you fight other units, and then in like real life situations, you like really fight. But yeah, and I think that's why I got back into in this sort of thing. Is because I do miss that physical kind of contact and everything. But you should get back in it.
Yeah, Mr. Jake says I pay to see Fred versus Jason every time. Fred tosses Jason, hey, F your train.
Should we have a Bourbon community like MMA match?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. We'll raise some money for charity. We'll get in the ring, and winner gets a bottle of Pappy.
No, we'll be the announcers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll actually get get some real fighters in the ring. That'll be good.
Yeah, there's like real Bourbon fans. Who roll. Craig Jones, who just beat Lovato at UFC Fight Pass, he's drinking whiskey right before the match, and then anyone who knows Craig Jones, he's he's crazy. But sorry. You got to get back in it, man. I'd love to roll with you. It'd be awesome.
No, yeah, I do. I did love it, man. It was great. I gotta say I was pretty good at it, but yeah, it took a lot of work because I started late. Usually because I was like teaching young kids at a certain point when I got to a certain level. And, you know, that's the time to start because you're so super flexible when you're a kid that, you know, you can do splits and it's a lot easier when you're trying to do it as an adult. So it's crazy. I remember teaching this one little girl who could literally just drop, like do Jean-Claude Van Damme style, just drop to the floor in a split and be like, bah! And just like totally like punch you right in the stomach. She was amazing. She was amazing. All right.
So was that like Japanese jiu-jitsu? Like you're more like the Japanese style?
Yeah, again, it was kind of a hybrid. Most of it was jiu-jitsu, but there was some karate built in. There was some judo built in. It was a style that this guy had come up with, and I absolutely loved it. It was a nice mix of one-on-one combat, floor exercising, kind of like what we see in MMA, and kind of like a freestyle type style. So it was a lot of fun, man. I do miss it. So
there we go. Let's do some cage match bourbon stuff. It'll be fun.
That'd be awesome. All right, letter D. Oh, I think you're gonna like the nose on this one, Freddie.
Letter D. And a shout out. I'm using my boys from Breaking Bourbon. They're Glencairn here. Shout out to my Breaking Bourbon buddies. Oh, I do like that nose. Little cotton candy action. Little sweetness.
Cotton candy immediately.
I wish you could see my microphone set up. I've got 4 clamps. It's ridiculous. Well, actually, I can show it to you. Look at this. That's my microphone.
That's like Bob the Builder's microphone setup.
Look, man.
If Bob the Builder had a podcast, that would be his microphone right there.
I don't have a lot to work with in my basement, but.
All right, yeah. Let's do a check here on the fundraisers here, guys. So we have we are at $7,980 for St. Jude, and for Nationwide Children's $3,255, guys. We have surpassed the $10,000 mark. Thank you guys so much. That is freaking awesome. You guys rock. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're at $8,450 for St. Jude now. Holy shit. Keep it going, guys. This is amazing. 164 donations. Absolutely love it. Wow, Kim Schwartz, I see, had the top donation with $500. Kim, thank you so much. That's amazing.
Kim's behind Barrels for Hope.
That's right. I'm going to be emceeing their event in July. I cannot wait. So
I'll be there. Hey, maybe that's where we can do our cage fight. We can bring people in doing some cage fights.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm in.
Love it. All right, so D was kind of my least favorite.
Yeah, D's not holding up to the other 3. Unfortunately, it's very good. I do like the sweetness, but compared to the other 3, it's definitely there's a layer. There's a couple of layers missing that the other 3 have.
Yeah, it's skim milk versus whole milk. You know,
that's a good way to put it. Yep.
I'm going back to B, and oh my gosh, that hazel.
You're back on which one?
I went back to B. Like
B.
Bravo,
okay.
And
holy crap, hazelnut is
that hazelnut's
so
just like blowing up.
Yeah, this is Nutella. This is Nutella on toast, man.
Yeah, you know, I think what's interesting, like you talked about this, but these are blends that have come together, right? So, like, if they're not disturbed or they don't move, and these samples have really just been in that box you gave me, completely legally, by the way, in a parking lot.
Completely legal.
You know, they haven't moved. So, like, just that little agitation, maybe that brought it to life a little bit. I don't know, but it's a completely different whiskey.
Oh my God, I love B so much.
B's just saying, hey man, I'm a slow starter.
B's like, hold my beer, just give me a second.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna move. I'm moving D to last, if that's okay. I don't want to take.
I'm with you. I don't think D is gonna hold up here, unfortunately. So we'll take kind of D out of the mix. And get No
offense, D. You meant well.
No offense to the D. Hey, you made it to the Final Four. That's
big. Yeah. I mean.
Yep.
If Oklahoma State makes the Final Four, that's like what we hang a banner. You know, you can hang a banner at your house. And I'm going back to C. Damn,
Have you went back to A yet?
No, I know what's in A. I know A. Like my process, like I know where my head's at with stuff. So I need to confirm B and C before I go to A.
Oh, I got a very interesting note on A. Like,
is it calf liver?
It's Jolly Rancher.
Okay, not Jolly. Yeah, calf liver.
Not calf liver.
Yeah.
You know. All right, yeah, this thing's making me sweat. I'm sorry, Fred. I'm gonna take it off.
I told you.
You did tell me.
Yeah,
but I did. I promised you guys I was gonna break out the ascot, and I did. So there you go.
And I didn't. So
yeah,
at least somebody did. All right,
the
so
one time I didn't have the D. So yeah, Durrell, no, we'll see, man. All these blends are very different. What?
I about to spit out my water as you were reading that. Oh.
Well, Durrell, the one time I'm wishing I didn't have the D.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'll give you one of these. Little Ron Swanson action.
Have you seen that meme going around about people's journeys into bourbon, and they have the various like Ron Swanson photos? Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I love that one.
That's a funny meme.
I also one of the newer memes that I've seen with
A is so good.
What's the one I wanted to? Let me see if I can get it here. Where is it? Let me see if it's in here. There was one that was from the Super Bowl that was freaking amazing. Where is it here? Oh, here it is. Let me back this up here.
You gonna airdrop that?
What's that?
You airdropping it to put it in?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in here in a second. Let me. Okay, yeah, it's backed up. Here it is. I gotta get this in the. This was my favorite meme that I saw all coming off of the Super Bowl. Here it is. So everybody knows about Travis Kelce yelling at Andy Reid.
Right.
This was my favorite. I know the plans is in the back.
So I was at the game, and you know, you don't see any of that, and like I only learned about that afterward. But we got all the Taylor Swift stuff on the stage when they put her up on the Megatron.
Yeah,
and she was, every time they pulled her up, she got booed. Everybody booed her. And then she took the shot of whatever she was drinking, and then people went insane. And then somebody started screaming, "One of us, one of us." I was like,
that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite meme that I saw. I know the Blends is in the back. I'm like, oh my god, that's so true.
Yeah, that's a good blend. All right.
Yeah.
So when I said it's a good blend, I'm talking about B. I went back to A, and damn, is it? I mean,
well, let's do this. If you had to rank the noses on these three, how would you rank them?
Okay. Let me take this YouTube link real quick.
Yep.
And then share it to some fucking assholes that need to be on here.
All right. Let's see. What's going on in the comments here? If you choose to date anonymously on GoFundMe, will you still be able to see the name for the giveaway drawing? I don't think so, Whiskey Problems. If you donate anonymously, I mean, we're not going to be able to tag you or find out who did that donation. Unfortunately. Now, if it's up to you. If you want to go anonymously, that's fine.
Jason, your accent, the way you said that, I thought you said date anonymously. So like you're trying to coach him through his dating on an app. Like
Yeah,
he's
sorry.
like trying to hook up on Tinder and meet someone up in a broom closet, and
Yeah,
you're like, well, we can't hook you up.
You get down on GoFundMe, baby? No? Okay.
All right, ranking noses.
Yeah, let's rank the nose here, and let's see if that plays into at least our ranking a little bit. Man, I gotta give C the best nose. C smells. C has that like classic-y butterscotchy note that I freaking love. It is so damn delicious on the nose. I mean, A is up there too. A might be a close second, but I still think, but B, you're right. That hazelnut. Oh man.
I don't give as much credence on noses as I do like palate.
I know. I'm just curious. It's just kind of a.
But I would probably rank. Or I think A's not the winner. A's not the glass for the nose win, but
I agree.
I think it's between B and C.
Yep, I'm with you.
I'm probably going to lean toward B, and it might be because I was so shocked by it in the beginning, and then it's like I think that this is one like that little bit of agitation in the glass.
Yeah,
changed it.
All right, so I agree. A is last on the nose. However, I think I lean towards C on the nose over B because C just has that buttery, caramelly like type of nose, and it's almost like it's everlasting. It doesn't go away. I love it. So, all right,
you ain't wrong. I'm giving the edge to B, and I'm going to go with that kind of like dominant hazelnut note.
Yeah. JD Bourbon Approach. Yes, I got your message. I found you. Adriana found you early on, so you're good to go. So don't worry about it, man. All right. Well, now it's time, man. We got to start ranking these here because then we're gonna get into some crazy giveaways.
Ooh, the giveaway!
So A for me, as good as it is, coming off of B and C, it is an absolute citrus. Almost a watermelon-y type of note I'm getting on it too. You kind of getting that on A a little bit?
Yeah, a watermelon's a good note.
Yep.
Call out on that, like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Watermelon Jolly Rancher. That's exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah. So the thing about A, it's all over the palate, but when I compare it to B is like middle and back palate, and it just dominates that area.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So it's kind of like a middle linebacker that can stop the run, but he's just okay. Like he's like the greatest in stopping the run, but he's just okay at like the pass. And A is the middle linebacker that can cover the pass and stop the run, but he's top 10 in both of those and not number one at either one. And B is number one at stopping the run. I feel like B and A are these. There's kind of like, do you want something that's really concentrated, or do you want something that's really balanced? And that's the discussion between A and B.
I agree. A is the balance. B is the concentrated flavor, and I'm here for
it. Without a doubt.
Yep.
And C
is this outlier that is very different from A and B in its own way, and I feel like you get a different experience. There's a dustiness to it that's kind of weird, but in a great way. I don't know, man.
I live for the weird, brother.
Yeah, for me, it's between B and C. Can we agree on that?
I agree. I agree on that. And it also, I think what's crazy on that is like, I'm shocked that it went there. I really
because off the bat, A was the.
Yeah, I thought Yeah, I thought A was going to win.
All right, so I'm moving A to third place here, and our 2023 champion is either B or C. We just have to find out who that is here.
I got my little arrangement over here. Okay. I finally opened the chat, and people are like talking about like I'm drinking Erlacher.
Yeah, I caught that. What position does C play? C is the I don't know. C is the punt returner. He's kind of all over the field.
You know what? I'll give you an analogy in football here, real quick on C. But B and A were not running backs. They were not quarterbacks. They were middle linebackers. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
I think C's more of a tackle.
Yeah.
I think C might be like let's say it's not it's a left tackle. You know, you don't understand its glory until you know you need it. And if you don't have a left tackle on your offense, damn, you know you need it.
I wish John Madden was here to break these down for us.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. So this one, you take a sip and then boom, it hits you right in the palate. And then
boom.
Brett
Favre would come through and fought on you. Or whatever.
I love the complexity that B has. I love how deep and rich and dark it is. The hazelnut, the chocolate, the oak without being overly oaked. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, I can't get over, and people, you got to understand when you're doing a blind tasting, you know, it's hard to appreciate this until you're in the mix of it. But I thought the minute I tasted A, I was going to crown it. I really did. I thought I was going to fight you for it, Jason. But now that I know I'd get my ass kicked, but I thought, you know, A was gonna be the one, and you know, and I thought B was gonna be dead last. But as we went through it, I got back to it, and I was like, huh.
But how the turntables.
Yeah. You know.
Is there anything you're leaning on here a little bit? I think I have a leaner. I think I'm leaning one way. I wish Eric Sawyer, Eric, Durrell, Jay, and Shelby, they must be dying right now. I'm just saying. If you guys are in the chat, are we killing you right now? Going through these right now? Are you hoping you're not either A or D, which has been eliminated so far? Like, are you guys okay? Just want to put that out there. That's right, guys. Enter on GoFundMe. We still have a few more minutes here before we start doing the giveaways. We do want to keep it going here. We are, let's see here. It looks like $3,570 raised for Nationwide so far. Oh, $3,580. And then we have for St. Jude, we are ordered at $9,480. So, guys, we are well above $10,000. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Keep it going. We're going to just keep this going on for maybe 10 more minutes before we start doing the giveaway. So, yeah, I really, guys, this is such a special night for me and for everybody involved every single year. So thank you so much for doing
and
that.
man, I got to tell you, your leadership in this, the community you've built, and you know, kind of like, you know, you were not in Kentucky, you're not in You're not from a family that's a part of distillation or anything like that, man. You built this, Jason. This is because of you, and you've been helping lives with what you do, and you've built this incredible like side career. I know you got a day job, but man, you've done something special, and you're going to hit that 100,000 mark, my friend. I know it, and you're going to have.
I know, man. I'm looking for it.
You're like what, 13,000 away, something like that.
Yeah, pretty close. So got a couple of clickbaiters in the hopper. Hopefully that gets me there. But
it all fucking earned. Nothing bought.
Yes, nothing
I
bought.
Point that out. Like you and I, we don't play that game.
I appreciate that, Fred. And I always appreciate your support each and every time we talk. So I always grateful for that. So I really appreciate you, and obviously for giving up your valuable time and doing stuff like this, helping raise money. It's not a small thing. I think every time we can get people in it, ADHD for all the times that he has helped out, Darrell, everybody for helping out, and obviously the whiskey community for being so generous and donating and raising all this money. And every little bit helps, man. It can't be. I couldn't be more pleased and happy with how it goes. So, all right, it's time to make a decision, guys.
Yeah, so some of the things that I didn't like about B when I'm comparing them to C, they come a little bit more obvious, although the depth of B overpowered A. I think C is a better version of A in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
it has a lot. It's balanced. It's balanced, but it's not. It has a deeper penetration of the balance. My God, that sounds pervy, but it's so. I don't even know what the fuck to say here, but it has so much.
That's what she said.
I feel there's a lot more to see that will stand the test of time than B, and I haven't made my complete decision yet, but I think I'm about to. Hold on here.
Yeah, I need. So here's the thing, for me. B to me is all mid to back palate. C to me is everything. Front, mid, back, balanced, spice, sweet, layered. I think for me it's C.
It's all up on there, man. And it's been the one we didn't put forward the top. We didn't. I think I just said like, "Holy shit" or something like that when I tasted it. We didn't. I think we both kind of like mentioned we liked it, but we were very casual about it. So
this night's very special. Thank you, Master Drum, and all that make it happen. Absolutely, Brian. Thank you so much, man.
There's your winner.
I think I have to go letter C just based on the finish. The finish on letter C keeps going too.
C's my winner too.
C's a special blend, man. That's it. C. Letter C is the winner of Blendageddon 2023.
Jason, I want to say this, okay? I want to say this. I think the majority of the audience will not like B. There's too much funk to it, and there's too much funk in B. You've got to be a turkey fan, or you got to be someone who appreciates Dusties. I think A and C are the most palatable for most people, but C is by far and away the best whiskey on this.
Yeah.
But we gave all of them their due diligence. And,
yeah, I mean, you can't deny. We tasted through every single one of these. Gave it its shot. When you can start comparing them, you see where some fall short, some have some shine, and for me it really was about the full to take a quote from Dan Shook from Bourbon Junkies, the full mouth experience. when you start thinking about it, I think C, front, mid, back, long finish, B, I think, doesn't really have much in the front. It's got some in the mid, mostly back of the palate. It's got a decent finish, really good concentrated flavor, but C has everything. So whoever is on C, congratulations. You just won Blendageddon 2023.
This is also how you know it was my favorite.
All right, I'm going to bring the glasses back here, guys. And
wait, how much did you drink? How much did you drink? Did you drink all of it?
I'm about to drink all the shit out of C right now.
Yeah.
I have the samples here that are labeled C and C, B, A, D, and yeah, I poured all of it out. It's just a matter of like I don't know which one I like more. So
Oh my gosh, the greatest comment came in of the night. Plot twist to the plot twist. Forge pickle umbrana. He's claiming that the C might have a little bit of the barrel that I do not like.
We all know who C is. You know who C is, Andrew? Who's C? Scott Tolbert says Jason C. I get it. Jason C. I get it. Mm-hmm. I do get it. I get it now. Eric Sawyer says cheers. Great work tonight. 2 awesome cases.
I think he meant causes.
Oh, causes. Yes. I think he meant that too. Sean Holco says, hi, Fred.
What up, Sean? What are you wearing?
What?
Now you know how I got, Jason, now you know how I got in so many fights.
Yeah. What are you wearing? Oh, man. All right, guys. I think it's time. We're going to see whose blend belongs to who. So I have a beautiful reveal box here tonight for these blends. My girlfriend utilized the amazing Remus box, and she said she put the answers inside. So I'm going to open it. Oh, and there they are. Right here, folks. Okay. But before we reveal these amazing blends and who they belong to and who the championship is, I'm just making the blender sweat. I just love doing it because they are freaking out. Guys, let's get a few last minute donations into the both causes tonight before we now I'm going to let these GoFundMe's roll probably for another week. So if anybody watches this, they get a chance to donate a little bit more before we cut it off. But tonight, so far, if any of you guys are watching, anybody that's donated so far will be in the running for any of these 60-something, things that we're giving away tonight. So keep it going. I'll give this another few minutes for everybody to get their last-minute donations in before we reveal the winners of Blendageddon for 2023 and see who's going to be crowned champion. So.
Blendageddon, yeah.
Blendageddon. I'm actually gonna make the new graphic here for whoever won once I find out who wins.
Are you making it on the fly?
I'm making it on the fly.
Nice.
Yep. Well, because I don't know who the hell is. I don't know who's who. So we'll find out soon enough. And I'm basically going to, I'll show this graphic once we know who's champion here. So, and the winner is Slippin' Jimmy. Eric Sawyer says, I think you still like A. Eric, do you think A is yours? You keep saying to keep going back to A. Do you think that's yours? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Thrasher, and the winner is Slippin' Jimmy. Yeah, I love that. A Trey says khakis. I don't know why khakis.
Do you have khakis? Do you wear them? I don't wear khakis anymore.
I don't wear khakis.
Yeah.
Never. Not even when I golf. I don't wear khakis.
The minute that jeans became acceptable in the business place, I was like, I'm done with khakis.
All right, guys. So we're at $9,905 for St. Jude. Let's hit. Come on, I need $95 more for the St. Jude. Once we hit 10,000, I will read the results here. So come on, we need $95 more to hit that $10,000 mark for St. Jude. Please do it. if you can. I will keep refreshing. Once we hit that $10,000 mark, let's go. And then I will reveal the results with Fred, and we'll see who's going to win Blendageddon for 2023 here.
Let's do it.
And then we'll find out what's in these blends. That's what I'm most looking forward to. I want to know what's in these damn blends. So while they're doing their last donations, Fred, any blends that you think you could pick out some of the components? What do you think?
Oh. Well, that's a whole different tasting technique. Okay.
I'm just kind of.
Yeah. I feel like A is the one that I could probably pick out something a little bit.
A was that watermelon cherry Jolly Rancher note I was getting.
I feel like A has some MGP and Heaven Hill in it.
Okay.
I'm out of my water, so I got to go the backup. Let me see what D is.
Oh, we are there. $10,135. Thank you so much, guys. Nailed it for St. Jude. Oh my God, that's amazing, guys. And then Nationwide.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Nationwide Children's Hospital. We are at 3,610. Can we get that number to 4,000, guys, for just Nationwide? That'd be amazing. Before we end the night, but we're gonna keep it going here. Sorry, what were you saying, Fred? For letter D?
I was gonna say D. I feel like has a brown formant product in it. I'm gonna lean toward. I was thinking 1792 or Old Forester for D. Yeah, I got Old Forester for D, but I don't have any other brands after that. Let me try B again.
Jeffrey Wax says all of them have Jephthah in them, Jason. Every blend colluded against you. Shit. Enter on GoFundMe. There you go. GoFundMe. So, yes, the super chats won't get you entries, guys. I mean, I will donate this to Nationwide, any super chat tonight, but the GoFundMe is where you're going to be able to enter to win stuff. So
I think B has the most bizarre component to it for me. I'm gonna say there's something in there that's outside of Kentucky and Indiana. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. But my only guess on B is that there's something that's outside of the mainstay normals. So that's my guess on that one.
Dude, A is just another beast, man. It is so. That blend A is just pure Jolly Rancher to me. That's crazy. I don't know what's giving off that note, but that's crazy.
So I'm going back to C, our winner.
All right, guys, we are at a grand total. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, about 13. We're almost at 14,000 total, guys, between the two charities. Thank you so much, guys. This is freaking amazing.
And that doesn't include the drop in the chat, right?
Yeah, that doesn't include the super chats that I'm going to donate on top of it. So yeah. All right.
C, the only guess that I have is Heaven Hill. I don't know what it is, but there's like a honey note in there that's similar to honey.
All right, well let's find out who's who.
Let's see what we got.
Here are the results. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys are dying here. Here are the results. Oh my god. Okay, so I just saw the results. So before we do anything, I'm going to put the winner's name in the chat on the graphic and update it. And then I will reveal it here. Give me 1 second. Because I want to get this on screen.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. All right. There we go. All right, that's fine. Let's do this. Let's get it up there. I'm not giving away any clues, guys. Just, the winner's the winner.
I don't know. We can tell by the way you're typing.
You tell by the way I'm typing who won?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Fred. Okay.
But the chat is lighting up, man. Suspense is killing people.
I know. We're gonna get there, guys. We're about to get there here.
They're dying.
Give me 1 second.
Ask a question. I'll entertain you as best I can while he's doing this.
All right, got it. All right, nailed it. All right, guys, I'm just gonna upload this real quick, and then we'll be good to go.
Okay, here comes the upload.
Are we? Anybody asking you any questions?
I think there might be enough of a delay, or they don't give two shits about what I think, so they don't put anything in the chat. So, Bob Glass says he thinks I have to go pee. So, I do not have to pee.
You don't have to pee. Well, that's a good thing.
I did. Now the questions are coming in. Holy shit! There's a lot of them actually.
Let me turn that on. Okay.
Fred, are you dominating the dojo? Oh hell no! In fact, I got the shit choked out of me today by an MMA fighter. Oof,
oh God! Seriously?
Yeah. But he was, it was a no-gi class, and he was so slippery. Like I couldn't fucking hold on to him because we were so sweaty.
Make sure that this came up. Okay, we're good to go, guys. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so coming in with letter D, coming in 4th place, goes to the one and only Shelby Strunk with Pour It, Spit It, and Chew It. Let's find out what was in his blend. What were your guesses, Fred, for letter D?
Oh, hell, I don't remember.
Did we say, was that the one?
I thought you were writing them down. Do I have to remember this shit?
I think wasn't that the one we said Old Forester was in it? Or was that?
Yeah, that is Old Forester.
No, D was Old Forester. Or I said 1792 or Old Forester. Let's see what's in this blend. Shelby Strunk making it to the final 4 with his Pour It, Sip It, Chew It, Spit It. American Whiskey Blend components. 2 parts. ECBP A123. And then 1 part. Oh, here it comes. Remus Gatsby Reserve. Russell's Reserve 13-year, Woodford Reserve Batch Proof 124.7, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof, it's a non-pick, 132.9 proof, and Booker's The Lumberyard Batch, which is a 2022 batch as well. That is Shelby Strunk's blend. I think the Jack Daniels is what I got the banana, man. I got the banana.
Yeah, I think the Woodford and Jack Daniels both fall into the Old Forester call out. So
yeah, got the banana. All right, don't think I'll be recreating that one, says Bo's Wine Guy. All right, Shelby Strunk with the letter D. All right, we're going to letter A now. Letter A was the favorite right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
I think I called it out and said it was MGP and Heaven Hell. I think it's what I said.
Letter A belongs to the one and only JG with his Milo's Mash.
Oh, wow.
JG Milo's Mash. Let's see what's in letter A here. The answer key. I'm opening it. Dude, this is a 2-part blend. That's it.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
60% Wild Turkey Rare Breed.
Oh.
40% Sagamore Rye Cast Strength. 112.2 proof.
Hashtag super wrong on that one.
Hashtag Burai motherfucker.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, simple blend, but effective. So any of you guys at home have Wild Turkey Rare Breed plus Sagamore Rye Cast Strength? Dude, blend them. That's a really, really fantastic blend.
That's a great combo. Yeah.
Yeah. Simplicity wins. Simplicity
Hey,
gets
hey, we got a lot of that in the comments, actually.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. A basic Borai gets this far. Wow. Yeah. Look at that.
So we have a chance for a two-peat though, because the winner is still
we do.
last year's winner.
So
is still
it comes down to Eric Sawyer and Darrell Stewart, the defending champion, or Eric Sawyer versus Darrell Stewart. Who wins? Here we go.
You know. Look, we can build some suspense here. I think everyone is rooting for Darrell. There's a lot of comments in there.
Yeah, I think Team Bootsy.
Yeah.
Darrell. Still time to enter. Waiting to hear the time. That's right, guys. We're gonna keep those donations rolling while we're doing this. Don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop.
Let's go, Darrell. Yeah, there's a lot of backed support for Darrell here. All right, guys, here we go. It's down to letter C and letter B.
Mm-hmm.
Letter C, Fred and I have deemed the champion of Blendageddon number 6 for 2023. And letter B comes up just a tad bit short, but so close.
So close.
I'm gonna throw the graphic that I just updated here on the chat. Hold on a second. I'm gonna make this dramatic here.
By the way, I will say that you never gave any tells about who won when you were.
That's a good thing. I turned off the music. Hold on, I'm shutting off the banner. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
The 2023 champion of Blendageddon goes to the one and only Brucey's Blend wins it.
Wow!
Yes.
2 years in a row.
No. He took out the champion.
Oh, that's taken
Eric.
out.
Eric was the champion. Darrell just took him out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Darrell, this is for you. Yes, Darrell freaking Stewart wins Blendageddon number 6. Holy shit.
Wow.
Dude, Darrell, killer. Eric Sawyer, the defending champion, almost repeats. So close. But this goes to show you that Eric Sawyer, I think no matter whatever year it is, he's going to be in contention for for a top spot, because he won last year and he came in the top 2 for 2023 the following year. Eric Sawyer is a blender to be reckoned with. Eric, let's find out what was in your blend. It's right here. And in the meantime, Darrell, you need to send me your freaking blending components, dude. Because I don't have them yet.
What did you, Jason, what did you think was in B? I said it was like some kind of like non-traditional distiller kind of thing. What did you think was in there?
I got a lot of fruit forwardness in it. The only thing I could really think is that there's a weeder in it. That's really what I'm going to say. I think there's a weeder in it. All right, let's find out what's in Eric's. Here we go. Is Darrell here? I didn't even see him comment yet. Where's Darrell? Darrell. Oh, Eric Sawyer says, no dynasty. Congrats, Darrell. There he is. Say what? All right, let's find out what's in Eric Sawyer's The Butterfly Assassin, which is another amazing blend. Guys, get your pens out because I'm about to read it off here. This is what's in Eric Sawyer's blend. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Oh, guys, I mean, again, a pretty simple blend. First of all, it's been great being the Blendageddon champion this past year, and thank you for everything. This year's blend, yeah, I love how he puts that in. It's been great being champion, just walking around. This year's blend is a left turn from no butterflies were harmed in the making of this blend to the Butterfly Assassin. Here we go. You guys got your pens out. 62% of the blend was Elijah Craig B520. Barrel proof. Elijah Craig barrel proof B520, 127.2 proof. 26% of the blend was an E.H. Taylor small batch. That's it, 100 proof.
Well,
last part
E.H. Taylor can be real funky. That's where that funkiness was coming
That's
from.
where I think that funkiness came from.
Yeah.
But here's where this is the part of it that I loved. 12% of it was Lucky 7 the Frenchman, 113 proof. That is a French oak finished bourbon.
Mm.
And I think Eric was playing to my likes because he knows I love French oak. He was trying to pull a Jimmy McGill on me. Just saying.
Great show.
Wow. Guys, again, Eric Sawyer's blend, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B520. And this might work with other Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs if you happen not to have the B520. I would still say try it. 62% of that, 26% of an E.H. Taylor small batch, and 12% of a Lucky 7, the Frenchman at 113 proof. The Butterfly Assassin, complete, 118.42 proof. There you go. And now, without further ado, we have Darrell's blend. Letter C, the champion. You ready for this? Here we go, guys.
My only comment was I thought it was like it had Heaven Hill in it. That was my only comment.
Which could be. Oh, you're right. You're right, based on this. And it's crazy because it's a pretty intricate blend here. All right. Darrell Stewart, his blend was 2 parts. 4-gate Kelvin Collaboration 2. 2 parts J. Henry Armagnac finish. 1 part J. Henry Cognac finish.
Oh.
2 parts Old Carter American Batch number 4.
Damn.
And 2 parts Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A123.
Pretty good.
I mean, that's an expensive blend, dude. That's not. It's like it's like Shelfers, but that's an expensive freaking blend. What surprises me there is how heavy he went on the J. Henry. Have you had a lot of experience with J?
Yeah. I've actually had I had J. Henry in one of my blind bourbon taste offs, and it finished last. So
yeah, I think Darrell is shopping on different shelves than the rest of us. Holy shit. I mean, obviously it's a ridiculously good blend, but holy shit. That is too good, man. That Darrell Stewart, congratulations. Bootsy's blend gets the win. I will post all of these blends, obviously, coming up here. Talk about a hitter blend. Yeah, it's really the Darrell cigar blend. That's what it kind of comes off like, with the different finishes, Armagnac, Cognac. Yeah, for sure. Damn, dude. Armagnac, Cognac. The Kelvin 2 is what? I don't even remember what was in that. Was it one of the sherry rum finishes? So
got to go to the Google on that one, man.
That's kind of crazy because if you put all those different finishes together, like on paper, you don't really think that would work, but it really worked in this case.
I think Patrick put it out real good in the chat. I'll be creating that real soon.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a very Darrell went into the back of the shelves for that one. Holy shit, he went to the top shelf for those. Well, it's a rum finish. It's a Cognac.
But let's also point out that there was a Elijah Craig B520 in the mix, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Eric had that one, right?
Yeah.
B.
Yep.
Look, I mean, B520.
So again, guys, yeah.
B520 was a standalone, brilliant, great bourbon of our time for the everyday pour. So, I don't think that's too far off from what Darrell did there with.
Yeah, for sure. Would you ever do a Blendageddon themed around Shelfers? Yeah, I mean that was really kind of the point of this one, but I can't go against what Darrell made. I mean, he did make stuff that was regularly released, just that he spent the money on it, probably versus what others spent on it. So, yeah, Darrell went to the bunker. But, yeah, this is a great point. This makes JG's even more impressive that it became third, and he used 2 whiskeys. which was Wild Turkey Rare Breed and Sagamore Rye Cash Strength.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
yeah,
that's a great point, and
yeah.
and how much that wowed us at the very beginning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I still say I think Darrell's will be a lot harder to replicate. Eric's, I don't think Eric's is too bad either. I think you can kind of you can maybe switch out that Logitech barrel proof B520 for maybe something a little bit more relevant that you have, maybe something a little bit more recent, along with the Logitech barrel proof. You can buy a Frenchman Lucky 7 online if you wanted to. And then JG's is too freaking, it's too, I mean, it's literally 2 ingredients. And I remember the second year, I believe, the blend of Old Forester 1920 and Old Grandad 114 won the entire thing. So it just goes to show you don't have to go crazy to make a blend and spend a lot of money and use like your best stuff to create something delicious. So yeah, so there you go.
So could that be Blendageddon next year? The 2 blend showdown, two bottle showdown.
That's a good idea. You can only use 2 bottles that are available. I like that.
And you got to define available. You know, like
it can't be. It's got to be maybe like a current release. Like it's got to be a 2024 on the shelf available bourbon, or it's got to be a 2024 release.
And you could restrict it too by price point. That'd be a good way to do it.
I would agree. I think 3. I think 3 bottles make a blend. It's got to be 3 bottles, and there you go, done and done. JG, you killed it. Darrell, I mean Eric, Shelby, you guys made it to the final 4, and that's against 30 something blends we had this year. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And Darrell, for his efforts, has won a fully paid trip to the next Master Journey meetup here in Kentucky. Flight, hotel, perks, T-shirts. You get it all, my man. Congratulations, Darrell.
Will you let me know when that happens so I can come hang out?
Yeah, I'll definitely tell you, man.
Come in. I'll bring you by the office. You know, we can do some, taste some weird shit.
Love it. All right, guys. Do you have a list of past top blends posted anywhere? So Jeremy McBride? I don't, but I could get those, Jeremy, for sure. All right. Here we go, guys. Let's go to the fundraisers. And we are going to, let's see here. Let me refresh this. So Nationwide Children's Hospital, $4,120 for Nationwide. And it looks like St. Jude, $10,445. That is just under $15,000 total for both charities. Guys, I can't say thank you enough for what you donated tonight and for the support. This was absolutely incredible. So I want to say congrats to all the blenders. You guys did an absolutely fantastic job. And thanks for being patient. I know it took a while to get here tonight, but I think it was worth the wait. The blends got to mingle a little bit longer. It was fantastic. So let's see here. Thank you, JC. This was a blast. Match and Drum. Oh yeah, I saw that. All right. It's time to run through the list of giveaways. Adriana, before we sign off here, let's run some names down. I'm going to throw up my email here so all you guys know where to email me in case you win one of these bottles. I don't think I have it up here actually, but you guys should know. You know what? Let me put it in the ticker here. As you get the winners together, Adriana, let me do this, and then we'll go from here. Okay. Congrats. Email me at all right. Let's get that in the ticker. Congrats to Darrell Stewart. Email me at themasterandDrum@gmail.com if you are chosen. Don't forget the PB. Oh, yeah. Shit. How did I forget? Fred.
Yeah.
How do you make I asked everybody in Blendageddon and all the judges, what's your ultimate peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh, we've been through this before.
Did you tell us what your PB&J was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
for anybody that missed it, what is it?
it's peanut butter. I mean, I prefer crunchy, but it's hard to get a good crunchy anywhere. You got to really get a good, solid, organic crunchy, but you can find better creamy peanut butters than you can
Yeah.
crunchy.
Yes,
So
whiskey problems will do. Yep. Go
yeah,
ahead, man.
and then I like orange marmalade. Like I like the stringiness
That's right. You're the orange
of
marmalade
the
guy.
orange, and
That's
yeah,
right.
that's my style.
You're the
So
orange
it's
marmalade.
about texture. I like the feel of the rind or the citrus, if you will, and the flavor. I think balances very nicely with the
See, I
peanut
like
butter.
the crunchy. I need the texture, so I dig it.
Yeah. So the thing about crunchy is like there's more bad crunchy peanut butters out there than there are creamy. I think creamy peanut butter is easier to get done from a manufacturer perspective.
That's a good point.
Crunchy is like you bite into a crunchy peanut butter, and it's like the crunch or the peanuts in there. It's like, did they pick this up off of a circus floor? It's like they like throw out the quality control there. So
Yeah. All right. So I'm waiting here on oh, that's not the let's see. The wrong app. Let me go to messages here. So Adriana is kind of working through the list. Adriana, as soon as you have all those winners, I'll just run right through the damn list here, and we'll go through it before we sign off. Yeah, so mine has evolved over time. I like to do like the Dave's bread, the really like multi-grain heavy,
best,
but I like to
best
toast
bread.
it. I like a toasted bread. I like crunchy peanut butter, and I am a strawberry jam guy through and through. Strawberry jam, toasted bread. Have you done the thing with like the mayonnaise on the bread and toasting it? Have you done that yet?
Fuck no, man. Mayonnaise is not allowed in my house. Like it is.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is so gross. It's like I
See,
do not like mayonnaise.
I hate mayonnaise too. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
it's so fucking disgusting. Like I don't know how mayonnaise ever got a leg up on mustard.
yeah.
Mustard is one of the most beautiful things ever created. It's just so good.
The
But
question
fucking
is, do you blend
ugh.
the PB&J before you spread it on one side of the bread? So yeah, we had somebody on. I can't remember who did that, but somebody blended the peanut butter and jelly together before they spread it. I can't remember who it was.
Hmm.
Ty Leezy, Fred, who's your NCAA basketball champ?
Oh man. This year's NCAA basketball has been it's been tough to follow. But I'd probably go. I'm gonna go with a Big 12 team. I think. I think this is going to be Houston's year. Calvin Sampson's going to finally come through, and they were ranked very highly. Basketball. Everyone always gets like knocked out pretty quickly, but I like Houston for this.
Miracle Whip is technically dressing. Is it though? I don't know what Miracle Whip is.
Yeah, no, Miracle Whip is dressing. It's not mayonnaise. Like Miracle Whip is allowed in the house. Like we will allow that.
I do think that I like Miracle Whip over mayonnaise, but I don't know if I would like eat Miracle Whip regularly. I don't know if I could do it.
No, fuck that. Don't do it.
Yeah,
No, I mean
that.
it's like it's all gross.
Yeah,
like it's
like.
it's
See,
like
I'm here with Eric Snyder. Nothing beats a good fluffer nutter. Right? Fluff and peanut butter. Let's do it. Love that shit.
I mean, look, it's
Miracle Whip is gross. Miracle Whip sucks ass.
He just said socks. He didn't say ass.
Oh, Fred. Okay, so I have a great question for you while we're waiting for the
Yeah.
results here. All right, here we go. So I got this question a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
Top 5 breakfast cereals of all time. This could go back to when you're a kid to now. Give me your top 5 breakfast cereals of all time.
Well, my entire life, I've been mostly an egg eater in the morning. But
Okay, that doesn't count. I want to hear about your eggs. I want to hear about your cereal.
so yeah.
Top 5. What do you got?
So when I could eat and did eat cereal, I think I'd start with Fruity Pebbles at number 5.
Fruity Pebbles. Okay.
I like Fruity Pebbles there. Honey Bunches of Oats at 4.
Oh, very underrated. Honey
Yeah.
Bunches of Oats is delicious.
Yeah, I could never get my mom to buy that enough. I love that one.
Really? Why? I feel like that would be healthier than Fruity Pebbles.
Well, I mean, she didn't buy a lot of cereal. It was mostly eggs and bacon.
She says F your eggs. Shit.
So staying in line with that, number 3, I'm gonna go because this is more from an adult side of things. Like we do have Honey Nut Cheerios in the house, and I happen to like Honey Nut Cheerios when I eat them. And
I had Honey Nut Cheerios in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah, so they're number 3 for me. Number 2, gonna go with Lucky Charms, and they probably would have been number 1 if not for the marshmallow getting stuck in my teeth when I was in 6th grade and I couldn't get it out of my teeth, and I kept trying to flicker it out. And the girl I had the biggest crush on in the world, Stacy Poor, saw me in the back of the bus, like with my hand deep in my throat, trying to like flick out the marshmallow that was stuck in there. Stacy Poor was so hot, by the way. And by the way, I've never asked Dwayne. You did that video with him. I've never asked him. I was like, "Are you related to Stacy Poor?" Because I grew up where Dwayne is.
In Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not too far from there.
Nice.
But she was like Winnie from the Wonder Years. I had the biggest crush on her.
Oh, she was a Winnie Cooper lookalike.
Yeah, she was.
Adriana, it's okay. Just do what you gotta do. We'll announce the names once you're done, and then we'll sign off here. But I definitely want to get those names kind of shouted out, so anybody that's watching either now or afterwards can claim their prize. So,
all right. So my number 1 cereal.
That brings you to number 1. Who is it?
Frosted Flakes.
Dude, I totally forgot about Frosted Flakes. How good that is.
Yeah. Frosted Flakes is always. I always like that, but when you kind of get a little more health conscious as you get older, and so
for sure.
we don't do the sugared cereals in the house. But man, my affection for Frosted Flakes came in college. Like the days of drinking all night and then skipping class and then playing Nintendo 64 with my fraternity brothers.
Oh yeah.
As we were all flunking out of college. Frosted Flakes is how we started the day, and then there might have been some other substances that came in the room, and then we ended the night with pizza, and then 3 days later we went to bed.
Who wants to eat a whole bowl of cereal right now? I'm just saying. All right, Fred, this is a pretty tough question, but I like it. Fun random question. What song do you think you've listened to the most times in your life, excluding Happy Birthday and the national anthem, or some of those more anthemic songs that we hear all the time? What's the number 1 song do you feel like you've listened to the most times in your life? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's gonna be heavy metal. It's gonna be some kind of it's gonna be something like that that puts me in a mood, that wants me to like
We'll figure that out, Slapshot. I appreciate that.
Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. That gets
Nothing
me.
Else Matters by Metallica. Okay.
That's what I love listening to that all the time. But I will say this, like my writing, when I'm writing, like I'm writing a new book right now. In 3 of my 7 books, I listen to Radiohead Kid A exclusively
Yeah.
while I was writing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I could see that, man. Yeah, for me, it would be, man, song I've listened to the most. God, I just listened to such an eclectic group of songs. I mean, it would probably be a Rush song, to be honest, and it would probably be, I mean, just because I was trying to learn how to play it on drums for so long, I'd probably say Tom Sawyer, Rush. That would probably be my go-to. When that song comes on, I it just I never shut it off. It completely immerses me, and I love that song. And I think not only from a drum standpoint, but just because of, when I grew up, when I heard that song, what it's meant to me. I named the damn barrel pick after that song because it was playing when I picked the barrel. I mean, it was crazy. So yeah, I would probably put it up there. I think if I had to just like do a quick, I think this is what it is. I would probably say Tom Sawyer from Rush. Second place, I would probably give it to Oh Baby Baby from Britney Spears.
It's interesting, like having my foot in the music world. I the pop genre, I don't connect with it. Like I just don't. Like I've tried, but man, I connect with like heavy metal. I like a lot of country, and I do connect with a lot of country and like classic rock. And if I'm going deep in the well, I'll go into some Beethoven or Mozart. But
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah.
yeah, I like music. I like music that makes me feel. I don't want teeny bopper needing to see someone in a bikini and high heels, prancing around, talking about like their boyfriend breaking up with them. That's not my style.
Yeah,
And
I'm with you. I mean, between Rush and Pearl Jam and some of these other bands that I grew up listening to, those would probably be in those
have you
top
seen Pearl
areas.
Jam live? Have you seen them before live?
Once I did. Once.
And that's life
Once
changing.
upon a time, just to, yeah, no pun intended. But yeah.
They
Um,
they 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 are so good live.
yeah,
And,
I
and it
mean,
makes me sad for the bands we've lost. Like I was set to see Soundgarden
oh
um,
man.
before
Um,
he
did
passed away,
you
and
did you ever see Tom Petty live?
I did not.
See, that kills me too because I never got a chance to see him live,
Yeah.
and I wish I did. I love Tom Petty.
So my favorite musician, and it's funny, like I talked about like all these things, but David Crosby is one of my favorite musicians, and I saw him live probably 15 times, and CSNY was my favorite band for a long time, and it was just they just connected with me. It was like the only music I enjoyed after I got home from Iraq. It was so weird, like that harmonizing sound that they did, and like the way they played. I mean, I went to so many places, and Stephen Stills, arthritic as he was, could still play the guitar.
Yep.
And when David Crosby passed away, that was like a part of me died. It was very weird.
I'm with you. When Neil Peart died from Rush,
Yeah.
it I remember sitting up. I was at work, and I remember hearing that. Like it came up, Neil Peart dies of brain cancer or a brain tumor, not exactly sure what it was. And I remember sitting at my computer and literally tears started coming down my eyes because
Yeah.
He was such an inspiration to me, not only as someone that loves to play drums, but just as a lyricist, as a writer. Even if you read his books, that killed me. He was such a big part of my childhood and growing up and listening to music and learning. Rush always had a certain way of communicating with their fan base, and I think that's what made him kind of have such a kind of a cult following for that band. And that's what made them kind of everlasting over the years, just year after year after year. No matter what they did.
And we're talking about the genre of rock, and they were such great songwriters. And I don't think we can neglect hip hop in this. Like hip hop has much of a connection to me as anything. And like Tupac, like I would run through a wall and do whatever I could to have seen Tupac. I would have loved to have seen him. Outkast, like when I was in Vegas a few weeks ago, I got to see Big Boy backstage playing all the Outkast songs. And it's like that band will never ever come together. And that came about because I'm friends with Killer Mike. He's been on my show. We're doing some stuff together. And he was playing with Big Boy because of course he was on Outkast's like stuff and now Killer Mike's won 3 Grammys and he's blowing up. I'm so proud of him. It's awesome. But to see Big Boy play in like a very small House of Blues theater like I did backstage with which I was actually watching this with Killer Mike's backup singers, and so they were like dressed all up in their stuff. I took a picture of them and put it on my stories, but like they were like, I was like, one of us do not belong here, and that's this guy. And it was like one of those moments where I was just like, I just wish like I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of music. I love all types of music. I just I hate the kind of music that doesn't push emotion. And it's like, I think it's the difference between lust and love, right? Like I'm a romantic. I love love. Like I great music is love. Teeny bopper bubblegum bullshit is lust.
Yeah.
Lust gets you through a moment. Love gets you through life.
All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to call out the winners tonight. So if you're watching this now or you're watching this after the fact, you can email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com to claim your prize. But here are the winners for tonight. I'm going to go through this once. It's a lot of bottles, so pay attention if your name is called. After this, we'll call it a night. I will post this list also on my YouTube channel in the community section. I will try to post this list in the description of this video, the winners' names versus the bottles that were listed. So please just kind of do your due diligence to, kind of pay attention and figure out if you won or not. So here we go. I'm going to run through this real quick. The winner of hold on one second. Let me make sure that everything is in here. Let me see. We have that. We have that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. So all right, Adriana, I'm sorry. The first, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Adriana, the first 11 entries. If you look at the donation list on the bottom of the video in the about section, the first 11 bottles were donated by myself. They are not on the actual pick list. So if you could just pick names for that one real quick, I would appreciate that. And and we can kind of go from there. If you just want to kind of pick another section of names, we can do that. You know what? I'll pick names. It's not a big deal. Let's do this. Let me go through here. I'll go through the names here. But here we go. Winner of the Bunnahabhain 12 cast strength goes to Aaron Thompson. Congrats, Aaron Thompson. Bullet Bourbon single barrel picked by Friendship Liquors goes to William Hall. Congratulations. Jay Hauser's Boone County 7-year OHLQ pick goes to Ben Hernandez. Congratulations, Ben. The Buzzard's Roost Cigar Rye signed by Jason Browner goes to Ron Kladow. Ron Kladow? I think that's how you pronounce that. A sample flight of 2-ounce samples of 5 bottles that have an MSRP of $100 or more goes to Lenny Poage. Congrats. The Old Potrero single barrel straight rye whiskey, 7 years, 11 months old, 130 proof, goes to Ron Kladow, Guy Aceable. So I think, Ron Kladow, Guy Aceable. I'm not sure those two names are coming together. We have the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Store pick, donated by Lance Powell. That goes to, let's see here. That goes to Lenny Poage. Again, congrats. He won twice. The Vascos donated a Weller 107. That goes to Kim Schwartz. Blake Benson, he donated 3 different bottles. Foregate 10-year Indiana Foundation, Lucky 7, 14-year proprietor pick, and a Foregate Kelvin Collab 5. That goes to Eric Larson, Jeffrey Stokowski, and Bill Ness. Congratulations. Ed Williams, Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye, and Old Forester single barrel pick. That goes to Charlie Chipman and Michael S. or Whiskey Dirge. Congratulations. What's next? Top Dog, John Peets, Blanton's Lamp will send picture on Instagram. That goes to Kim Schwartz. Kim Schwartz, you win a Blanton's Lamp. Congrats. Powers John's Lane's calf strength rye whiskey from Stacy 4-leaf whiskey goes to William Hall. The Foregate Mash and Journey pick, donated by Saucy Shane, goes to Andy Johnson. Another Weller Antique 107 goes to Andy Johnson. I got to highlight these. Weller Antique 107, Andy Johnson. Oh, I'm sorry. The Foregate M&J pick goes to Isaias M. Valenzuela. That who wins the Foregate M&J pick. The Weller Antique 107 goes to Andy Johnson. The Templeton 10-year single barrel rye goes to Charles Bradley. The Penelope Barrel Strength goes to John Miller, donated by Mr. Jiggs. The ECBP Private Barrel from Mr. Jiggs goes to Jeffrey Wack. Congrats, Jeff. Jeffrey Wack donated a Shanks 2023, a Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, and a Foregate Indiana Foundation 10-year. That goes to Daniel Hooper, Eric Tennis, and Mark Emanecker, respectively. Jesse E. Whiskey Problems. Number 1, Masters Keep Collection Sample Pack. All 8 releases goes to Fred Mosenter. His Elijah Craig Sample Pack goes to Shea Sky. Congratulations. Ethan So, who donated a Middle West Ported Pumpernickel Rye Cast Strength pick, goes to Charles Bradley. Todd Ritter, a Spirits of French Lick Lee St. Clair, goes to Richard Henriquez. Michael Schneider, Corbin Cash, Mercer Rye 6-year, goes to Ben Hernandez. John J. Bowman Single Barrel goes to Edward Douglas. Chicken Cock Straight Rye goes to Paul Piotrowski. Still Austin Nancy Fraley pick goes to Jeff Sokowski as well. Congrats. Jesse Egler has 2 giveaways. 1 finished bourbon sample pack with different finishes goes to David Lightweiss, and a Celtic Whiskey Region sample pack, a single malt scotch from each of the 6 regions, goes to Lenny Poage again. Bo's Wine Guy, he donated a sample pack including Lucky 7 Proprietor, 14-year, Knob Creek Single Barrel Store Pick, ECBP A120, and more. That also goes to Lenny Poag. Holy crap. Ethan and Katie Turk have donated two $20 gift cards for Drifting Drams for their coffee. That goes to Don Prince and Jeffrey Wack. Taylor Usini donated a Cedar Ridge Quintessential Single Malt from Haskell's Wine Pick. That goes to Mamuka Reyosmati. Congratulations. Jeffrey Gamble donated a Starlight VDN bourbon and Starlight Great Brandy bourbon from Stuff and Whiskey. That goes to Matt Arjeski. Kim Schwartz donated a Four Roses single barrel proof. That goes to Fred Bozenter. Big Vic donated a Cali Dramin Filmland pick. That goes to JG. He also donated a Knob Creek Cypress Craft pick. That goes to Jeffrey Stokowski. A New Riff single barrel pick that I picked. I'm in Galena, so I could drop it off, he says. Ron Blanchard. He donated that, and the winner is Joshua Clodfetter. Donald Rance out of Canada donated a Lot 40 Dark Oak pick, and that goes to Jared O'Connor. Darrell Stewart, a Blanton single barrel and a Copper and Cast 7-year single barrel, and winner chooses a 5-sample flight from my collection. That goes to Dave Lightweiss, Janelle Gomez, and John Snow. Big Vic donated a Dusty Dan team pick. That goes to Ron Kladow, Guy Assable. And he also donated a short barrel Dusty Dan pick. That goes to William Wiley. Ed Williams donated a sample pack of 40 Mass and Journey picks. 40 1-ounce samples goes to Ryan Stobecki. The Goose Island Bourbon Stout County lineup goes to Oisin Hayes. 10 signed books from Fred Minnick. That goes to Garrett Brennerman, Ron Kladow, Paul Madden, Robert Fernandez, Alex Smith, Saya Sky, Keith Thompson, Jeffrey Stokowski, William Tiller, and David. What does that one say? I have to extend this. All right, so we got all that. Matt Porter's ADHD whiskey blend goes to, Kim Schwartz gets that. All right, so now to my selections. Michter's 10-year goes to Robert Thummel. The Foregate M&J 7-year goes to John Knopp. The Driftless Glen Rye Chocolate Spice goes to Bill Ness. The Driftless Glen Kenosha Kicker goes to Oisin Hayes. The Woodford Reserve Double Oaked goes to Jeffrey Wack. The Hard Truth Harvest Rye goes to Oisin Hayes. The Four Roses Brent Elliot Select OBSQ goes to Saya Sky. The Bardstown Bourbon Company 4-grain pick goes to Keith Philibin. The Bardstown Bourbon Company Cellars collab from Carter Cellars goes to Tin Wen. The Stag Junior 22A goes to Ricardo Carroll. The M&J Butter Pekin Burai goes to John Knopp. And the top donor Slapshot will give a barrel stave pen to Kim S. and Kladow Guy. That is all the giveaways. Holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. Sorry, Fred, that was probably boring.
No, it was great, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot. So we have a ton of bottles that we're giving away. Guys, again, I will release this list on all my social media platforms. If you guys want a bottle, you will get notified. Again, if you were in the chat and you were listening to this and won something, please email me at themasterandrum@gmail.com to claim your prize, and we will get everybody connected to get you your winning bottle. So, Fred, what can I say, man? You have been a huge supporter of the channel, a huge supporter of Whiskey Tube, and just an all-around great human. So,
well,
I just want to thank you for your support and everything you've done, not only for me, but just for the whiskey community as a whole. I just want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Man, it's when you get the bug, you get the bug, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not about anything but a passion, and it's a passion for a product that we all enjoy, but really it's always about the people. And tonight is there's not a better example of the bourbon community than tonight. You know, there's so many things people can be doing, but they're here in the chat watching two jerk-offs with hats on, you know, taste and talk about bourbon.
Let's stick the hair up. Yeah, there we go. That's better. But yeah, I also want to say thanks to everybody in the chat, everybody that watched all night, hang out with us, donated. You guys are amazing. You guys are what makes this this train keep rolling. And pun intended there. So as we sign off, I want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out tonight. Thanks for the support. keep an eye out for the list of winners. And as I always say, it is not about the whiskey, but it's the kids that we share our donations with. So with that, I'm going to cheers with letter C, Darrell Stewart, the winner of Blendageddon 2023. Cheers. And I will see you guys.
That's all I got left right there.
That's all you got left, right? Yeah, me too. So cheers, guys, from here, the Master and Gentleman from Fred Minnick. Love you all.
Cheers.
We'll see you next week for another fun show. Cheers, guys.